This ain't Mortal Kombat.
No.
This ain't Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
No, I'm talking about like
This isn't the new Smash Brothers.
no, WWE style where you can only pick from the pool of moves in the game. Kind of like how they tried to make Seth, but like your own version. So you can make a grappler where every move has the same range.
Oh, yeah, give them 0.3 cents or no, 0.1 cents.
It just does commercials.
Okay.
Yo, see, it's like you're gonna be rich in 1,000 years.
I know.
All figured out what they did in the current installment.
Are we good?
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
At least I haven't. It's just probably what's on.
It's live on there, right?
We could always do Makoto mirror, and then so we can actually both go over stuff.
That's fine.
Whatever you do,
No,
do
it's fine.
do that one.
Whatever. I believe most setups still work on the code.
Yeah.
You should still do like character-specific stuff once you finish like.
It's not as really dependent as
Or
you
you can
think.
just say it. Just whatever.
There's like, I mean, oh well, whatever. We deal with the colors.
No, this is Seaslug's show. He gets his color.
No, I wanted white. White Makoto's good for training because that's what I always used it for. She's the teacher.
So you have white Makoto and dirty Makoto.
That's my favorite taunt.
It is.
That's the best one. Okay.
Alright. So we're gonna go over simple buttons first.
Yeah, that's the most. I think one of the things that, like, I guess I'll start off with a minor complaint with the Makoto players is that their reliance on dash is too much. Yeah, you use it, but it's not her primary form of movement. It's her normals. It's her normals or her movement tools. So if you really want to learn how to play Makoto, you really need to know the space. Like, and training mode's a really good option. The distance at which her normals move, her forward, and no spacing from those distances, because that's one of her biggest strengths. Like, she may not have a great walk speed, and it's her biggest weakness, but her buttons like forward strong are really good, stuff like that.
So, as people stated, there's a difference between certain rushdown characters. People classify Makoto as a rushdown, but really she's a burst damage. She's supposed to get in quick, do as much damage as kind of possible, and then try and reset to a better space. So the way you do that is, of course, making your way in with, as we stated, the buttons, smart dashes, as we should state.
Yeah,
so,
smart dash. Yeah, she's a big read character, so it depends on who you play against and what the style of character is, but it's all about understanding what your opponent's looking for and doing the opposite. So I'll use an example since Driftwood's playing. I mean, in the stream right now, and he can agree with this. So a lot of like what Faye wants to do is Faye wants to keep Makoto like right about here, and he just kind of wants to buffer jabs and kind of wait for something. You know, if you dash right into it, you're gonna get hit. Basically, like if I sit here and I just dash into a strong or something like that, you're gonna get hit by it. It can be predictable. A lot of characters, I mean, players might sit there and wait for something like that. So inching forward is okay, is a thing to do. But if they're sitting there waiting for you to dash forward, something about like walking into this range and then just doing like an axe sweep, which I freaking can't do right now. Not my stick, but along those lines works as well. Or like if they're pressing out like jabs or something like that out of range. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dash. Jabs, so you can kind of throw a strong out there and try to counter hit it like that. That's the idea. And then once you're here, you kind of can dictate a lot of things. You can do like an empty Karakusa and stuff like that. But she's about reading. Like she's a lot about knowing what your character's your opponent's looking for and scaring them into doing things. That's how I see it.
So, another good thing about this is we talked about Makoto's walk speed. It's the worst in the game. Everybody tested it. It's the worst entire thing. Hugo's faster than her. That's depressing, I know. But there's a good thing about the walk speed. It's used to slightly like make yourself get into a distance, whereas a button would be too much and a dash would be way too much. It's to get yourself into a small distance. It's also used for fear. So like go like a little bit back. So say let's say Christian's playing Ryu, and at the start of the game, you're not gonna want to dash in front of Ryu's face because he's just gonna he's gonna hit you. He's gonna throw a fireball. He's gonna DP on reaction if he's godlike. But what you will do is you will walk slightly forward. And what it does is it gives you a time to react and to do something. So say Ryu's going to throw a fireball, which is one of my favorite things ever to do at the start of the round, is walk forward, focus, dash, grab. So I focus past the fireball and I'll grab him, all while just slowly moving forward. So that's what your walk is used for. It's used for fear because nothing's more menacing than just that slow walk speed coming towards you. But it is only to scare certain characters, and it's characters that can't or really want to deal with Makoto up close. You want to do buttons now?
Specific ones? Yeah, okay.
Best ones to least best ones, I guess.
Yeah. It depends on the matchup specifically, because in my opinion, Crouch Roundhouse is a terrible normal, but in like against grapplers, it's really good. It's for space control.
So Crouch Roundhouse is technically your go-to anti-air against grapplers because they're just too big. It's characters that are tall that can't really deal with it. So Sagat, Hugo, Zangief, T-Hawk, sometimes Abel, but it's not really necessarily a great thing to go to, even though they buffed it to a 200 stun.
Yeah, you're not gonna hit 5 of those.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, you'd be surprised
Yeah, well,
when someone jumps a lot. The next button is once again her roundhouse, her Sparta kick. She had this first move over Kazuya. It's only used in very situational things. So say Bison's doing scissor kick pressure. After like the first scissor kick on block, you would throw that out to say stop it. And it's very it has a very active.
Yeah,
it'll beat practically anything.
I think
and
it's,
trade.
Yeah, in 2012, I think they extended the hitbox out and brought the hurt back. A little bit. So it actually will, if you stay at if you're at low forward distance with Ryu, it actually can beat it.
Yeah, it'll go
it'll
over.
hit it. Yeah, and it'll actually
Ryu's low forward
yeah.
and hit him for a punish.
Yeah.
So you're not really just gonna throw it out like willy nilly
because it's a lot of recovery. Yeah, it's got
as
a
you
lot
can
of
see, that's you'll get whiff punished from a sweep. So next one is
we can go down because the normals get better as they get lighter. So Stand Fierce is pretty much a combo normal. It's really all it is. It's actually minus on hit if you don't cancel. I think it's like -2 or something like that. So it's primarily meant for like going to a Hayate and then being positive after that. Yeah, we can go into the Hayate cancels later. But aside from that, Forward Fierce is a good move. It's another one of those moves that kind of moves her slightly forward and then she moves back a little bit. So she does get a little bit of ground when she does Forward Fierce. If you press it 1 time, she gets 1 punch. If you press it 2 times, she gets a second one. It does a lot more damage than it did in Third Strike. In Third Strike, it was like a little thing and then like 2 little chips afterwards. This one is like boom, 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 and then 220 for a Forward Fierce. I mean, that's where she, like you said, it's bursty. Like you're getting big hits out of this. I think it's first one. After the first one, I believe it's like -2, and after the second 2, I mean the second one's -4, something like that. Most characters can't punish it, or actually it might be more than that. I think, but I know that like characters
it's
like
the pushback that allows her not to
exactly. Faye can EX Rekka on hit, I believe, stuff like that, because it's not safe. But it's the pushback and it's the distance. Even if like where you're point blank and you block it, it still puts you at that distance. So it's pretty good, especially if you're trying to get like characters away from you. It's actually really good.
Focus.
Yeah, it's good. It's hard to you can get focused.
Do it from meaty.
Okay.
So like knockdown.
Oh yeah, I got it.
And if it's at
yeah, something along those lines.
and it'll take away like a bunch of health.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, and Crouch Fierce is her sweep.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's -9. A lot of
Max distance.
Yeah, at max distance, the only people that can punish it are probably Faye and I think
Ryu Sweep.
Yeah, Ryu Sweep can do it, and Vega is really good at that. A good Vega player will be able to crouch strong into EX wall dive. It's good. You can combo after a counter hit stand strong into it, but other than that, it doesn't combo from anything other than Karakusa, which we'll get into later. But that's the only thing. So it's a decent move. If it's used at the very tip, it's actually pretty safe. I mean, at that distance.
Not many people
Yeah,
can do it, but
so-
the people you're going to try and sweep are people that generally can punish it.
Yeah, so if you're doing, like a block string and like you notice that everything's being blocked, you can like at the end you can just throw out this, and then again the pushback. You don't want to be at that distance necessarily, but with Makoto, I mean this is not her best. Like her best distance is right here about, but it's okay, especially if you're playing against grapplers and you do like a true block string into that. I think Geef can do a light punch green hand now and punish it, but it's not the end of the world.
The mediums.
Forwards, yeah.
So this is one of the best anti-airs. One, because Makoto has a lot, and it generally makes taller characters once again just hate life. So Abel's forced to block this. Sagat's forced to block this. Crouching Zangief, crouching Hugo, crouching T-Hawk, and I think crouching Sagat cannot crouch this move, so they have to take it. It's also cancelable, and it does actually a little bit more damage than the medium, and a little bit more stun, but the real good thing about it is just like forward jump.
Oh yeah.
It's literally like a beautiful anti-air. It can be,
if I do jump fierce, it's or I do early jump fierce trades.
yeah,
But you have to expect, if you do it early enough, I mean, if they're doing it really early, then they're expecting that normal
Yeah.
to come out, so it's kind of weird.
so that's that's its good points. You're not really gonna do anything else with it. Like it's really kind of a situational poke. You're not really gonna use it against Makotos or stuff like that.
But it's a good buffer tool, like you said. Like you can buffer into. Well, okay, that's right. Yeah, but I mean it's good because you can buffer Hayate afterwards, and you can get big damage afterwards. Like you can do red focus now and ultra and stuff like that. So it has its applications. And I guess as a side note, we'll go into it later, but it's also the end of a target combo, and it does the same thing, it has the same properties.
We'll do
but
that.
Yeah,
We'll like it.
Crouching 4, this is her best anti-air by far against pretty much the entire cast. It lowers her hurt box, like it hits at weird angles, it like hits directly above her head, and like with Makoto you can like dash after it, so you're kind of in that position where you can do stuff afterwards. It doesn't low profile as well as like other low forwards do. It does a little bit. You can see how she kind of goes down. But like if you've ever seen Ryu like try to low profile, say or Viper's burn kicks, doesn't really work that way. Actually, I think Guy's elbow trades with this move.
Yeah,
because that's how good how good Guy's elbow is in comparison. But for the most part, aside from like Sakura's old jump fears and stuff like that, this pretty much wins. If you time it properly, this is a really good move. Yeah, it's if you look at the actual, like,
That was our best jump-in move, and it traded.
Yeah, so the jump fierce is pretty much, well, that was probably a little bit. Yeah, it's so, I mean, and jump forward fierce is one of the best jump-ins in the game now, because Sakura's got nerfed. So, it's really good normal in that aspect. Short, I guess. Not really that. Oh yeah, strong. That's right.
Strong.
So this
you're forgetting the best button.
This is the best button. Well, yeah, I almost like wanted to go back around to it because it's that good. But you're right.
No, we got to go in order. This is the best button that Makoto has. In meaty, it can beat ultras. It acts as an anti-air. It's a great poke tool. Oh, what else can this button not do?
Yeah, it's cancelable. On counter hit, like I said, it counters into sweep if you actually counter hit.
It combos into itself.
It's 5 frames, relatively quick, and most of her combos, go into it. So it's basically your go-to for. It doesn't do a ton of damage. It's only 50, I think, right? 50 damage.
Hit me with it.
60. Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, its applications are really good. It's got. It's an anti-air. It's not as good as crouching forward, but in like situations where you're quick to the draw, or like it can go ahead, jump forward. Yeah, I mean it'll trade. There's certain like we were doing jump fierces.
I'll do like
yeah, but it's really good, and again another one of those I can dash underneath and do combos afterwards, kind of moves.
This is primarily used against people who have really long limbs. So if they're like doing like roundhouse or something.
Yeah, so if
if you're afraid to do this or even this, you can go straight into that.
Yeah, this is a jump roundhouse. See that? So if I try to hit with like the tip of that, it's gonna get punished for it. Because if you look at the actual hitbox, she doesn't get hit anywhere below her neck. Above her neck. So it pretty much beats everything that comes at her at that distance. And it's got a lot of active frames. So Makoto has some of the best active frames in the game. Like all of her normals, like stand around. See how long that's out there for? Stand strong is active for 7 frames. Like this is active for like 5 or 6 or something. So meaties and just being able to throw things out there and people running into them. She's got a lot of good options when it comes to that. And Stand Strong is no exception. Like she has meaty ultra options from Stand Strong. She can. On block, it's +2, which is pretty good. It's not a true block string if you do like block strongs, but it's kind of a frame trap in itself.
Yeah, I did crouch jab.
Yeah, so if I do it at this like at the exact image like an exact string, and you try to grab and you don't get it on the exact frame, I'm gonna hit you, and then it's just basically confirming into damage at that point. So you can use it like that, and then you can kind of cancel afterwards. I can't do it on the stick. And then you can go for shenanigans or stuff like that. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, like this is her go-to, and we actually forgot to talk about forward strong too. So yeah, like forward strong, one of the best hitboxes in the game too. Like it's pretty much her whole forward part of her fist is all red, and you can only hit her maybe back behind her elbow, which is really good. So pretty much anything runs into it, and it's again one of those movement normals we were talking about. She's moving forward, now she's at a distance. On block, I believe it's 0.
Yeah, it's even.
And it's +3 on hit, so...
you can get a medium punch to combo.
If you do it really late, yeah. If you do it meteor or counter hit, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good for just getting in there and starting the pressure, because even if they're, you're +3. That's really good because you can do an EX Karakusa. You can throw out a forward jab, which is technically would be a combo, but you can make it a frame trap if if you're off by.
On counter hit, it's a combo.
Yeah, I thought it was +3. Am I wrong about that? Yeah.
Oh, God.
So she has a lot of new ways, and we'll get into the EXDP stuff because you can do crouch forward too and a forward jab too, which is but it's so hard.
I totally forgot. We forgot to mention this move.
Oh yeah. So yeah, go ahead. You can talk about it.
So we're gonna travel back real quick.
Yeah, we forgot about
because we forgot about our gigantic movement option. And if you're also wondering, we forgot another stupid movement option, which I believe is the
body
suckiest
back.
move ever.
Yeah,
and I will tell you about that later.
See, these are moves that you. I mean, okay, forward medium kick, that was our mistake, but this is
don't talk about that. That's my secret.
We don't. Yeah,
that's my secret.
I don't even
will
use
tell
that
them.
move, so I just completely forgot about it.
I use it.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so forward medium. This is technically the most traveled next to forward roundhouse because it travels the most distance.
If you want the most distance in one button, you're doing forward medium kick.
And it's I think it's barely. It's not even minus, right? It's -1. It's -1
on block. Yeah,
on block.
yeah.
It's only punishable by like grapplers. And
Actually, no. Well, for ultras, yeah,
for
basically,
ultras,
yeah.
But you're primarily using it to make people stand still and to get in close because of how much it travels. So about right here, this would be out of Ryu low forward range and out of good poke distances. So most people aren't really going to throw a poke and then you swing your gigantic Chuck Norris foot over and hit them. It also leads into a target combo, which much like Ibuki and any other characters, you just hit the next button and go into it, which is an easy confirm for just extra damage.
Yeah, so I'll see how much it actually. So 190, which is pretty good for that move. I believe, like you said, yeah, forward medium kick on block is -1. After the roundhouse, it's -2. But again, if you're blocking it, like if this is probably about max range just here, and you block it, look at the distance between right there. I mean, even Gief can't punish that with Ultra 1.
Yeah.
It's too far.
Yeah.
So most people can't touch that unless you're Chun-Li.
Yeah,
So,
it's mostly a spacing tool that is what you're going to use it for. Not using the target combo is the mix-up. So if you just do this, you can do a grab after, or you can fake and do a button. It all really depends. All right, we'll go back to the other normals now.
yeah, okay. So shorts are generally relatively useless, at least the stand short at least. Like I said, it goes into the target combo. We'll talk about that later. But stand short is more of a tick throw tool.
Power tool.
Yeah, it's cancelable. So if you really yeah, like I said, it's just
Switch your sticks.
yeah, exactly, fine, whatever. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know why I can't do things on the stick. I don't know, but it's
Yeah, I was gonna say.
it's a cancelable tool. The biggest use for it is a confirming a target combo into like a dash punch or something along those lines, or like a block Akusa, which is we'll get into later. But the block stun from, I mean, if you do a normal Karakusa at this range, it's really not going to do anything. But if you cancel stand short, you can actually see she walks forward a little bit. So
I went over Kara throws not too long ago.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
technically what it is.
Yeah, so it's a card throw, but that's the main application. So you can do something like just block a jump in for me. So I'm gonna do like a jump fierce, and you can do like a. So that's kind of a weird thing because the only thing that beats that is a mash out or a jump. And so you can kind of space it a little bit. On hit, it's a little weird because if you do that on hit, the timing is stricter. So that was pretty much the same timing. So you have to be really careful. It's like a one-frame window on hit. But that's pretty much what stand short's used for. Crouching short, one of her 2 lows in the game, if you want to talk about crouching short.
So crouching short, it's primarily a punish tool and just like a quick button. So it's one of her like only lows next to sweep. And you're just using it for trying to counter hit. It's okay for crouch techs, and it combos into everything.
Yeah, it's 4 frames, so it's all right in terms of that, but it's not fantastic.
Yeah. You could use it for mix-ups too. So instead of just doing like certain other things, you can do one of my favorites, which is that into axe kicks, trying to catch them teching, that into command grab.
Yeah.
The third strike special of that.
Yeah.
Which works only occasionally.
I like stand short GX because I don't know why it works so much.
Well, I like the third strike special because I'm a sucker for third strike Makoto.
But yeah, and it also the only other real application for it. So if you do like a simple jab confirm with Makoto, which is crouch jab, stand strong, it's a 1-frame link. But if you do crouching short, it's a 2-frame link. Well, I was doing it earlier. Yeah, but it's so it's a little easier if you want to confirm her combos, and it's what, 40 damage, I think? 40 instead of 60? No, do crouch short. 30, okay. So you lose some damage probably at the scaling. You're probably losing like 20, but it's easier to do as opposed to having to blink this. So it's easier in that aspect.
Russ, turn on that middle light right there. Second switch on the top.
And it's, like I said, cancelable. Only goes into light Hayates.
Goes into the rest of the EX moves.
Yeah, light and EX, but that pretty much are the only options. And it goes into the EXTP, which is new, and we'll talk about that. Yeah. Stand jab, I guess.
Yeah, next is stand jab. So this is, it's the baby version of this.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it's a worse stand strong. 5 frames. It's plus 5 on hit, so you can combo into strong, but it's really not.
It's a frame trap tool.
Yeah.
So you're either wanting to do that in the throw to bait, or that in the command grab. It's technically like, I'm checking you in the face, don't move so I can do something. Or try and move, I'm gonna bait you, I'm gonna bait and do a throw, and then it's like, oh, I'm not gonna do a throw, and now I'm gonna combo you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a stop, because the natural reaction for most people when they get hit by something is block. You know what I mean? So if you hit that, and that's why the low short into Karakusa works, because not everyone's holding back entirely, and sometimes when people, well, for the most part, when people get hit, they're kind of like, hey, let's stop this. You know, stop what I'm trying to do. And then you get the command grab.
Yeah, most people aren't really afraid of Makoto's short buttons, which is funny because it leads into a lot of damage.
Yeah. So in crouch jab is the same thing. 5 frames. It's not. It's like plus 2 on or plus
2 on block.
Yeah. Oh, but it's not. Yeah. So it chains into stand jab. So like I said, her normal confirm is crouch jab, stand jab, and then once you confirm, you can do stand strong, EXDP or something along those lines. Crouch short. But if you're like going for confirm damage, you can do this, and then you can. Well, I should have done a heavy one there, but then like or
it's good to go into the block Sakuga after that. Or one of the new things that I like been doing is instead of doing this, which is 0 on block, you do this, which has plus.
Yeah.
So it checks people with frame advantage.
Yeah. So like what I'll do on a knockdown, normally for me, just block, like block it out. Just block. Yeah. I'll do that afterwards. So if I'll basically confirm at that point. I'll confirm on the crouch jab whether or not they blocked or not. If they didn't block, then I just do the medium kick into to normal damage and stuff, or on option select into a Hayate or something along those lines. So that's your easiest confirm whether or not damage is happening or something along those lines. So that's what crouch jab is used for mostly. If you really want, last thing, if you're really trying to get someone off you, crouch short is actually a better option because it comes a little quicker, and if they're standing, it generally will hit them and push them back. So I would use crouch short if it as a getaway. It doesn't go. It goes about the same distance roughly, and it's a little bit faster. So crouch jab isn't really used for that.
All right, so let's talk about the fun normal that got a buff, which is this fun button.
Yeah, forward jab.
So what people don't realize is we had a 3-frame normal.
This is our only 3-frame normal forward jab now.
And it sucked. Reason being is because a little move called uppercut used to shortcut off of it.
Yeah.
When you try and do, well, it still does.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
you couldn't get the Hayate, which is our only 3-frame punish.
Only a computer can do it. Like it can only be TAS. There's no way. Like.
You have to do like the full. We have the Ryu problem with low forward fireball. We have to do like a quarter motion.
You have to let it go neutral and then do
You have to let it go neutral, but it's just it doesn't combo fast enough.
Right.
But the thing is now is that this is one of the primary punish tools to get an EXDP, which it combos into.
So you can do it very simply, even by doing the shortcut of Hadouken.
Yeah. So a lot of, especially with FADCs on forward being -5. Your go-to is either a grab or a forward jab into EXDP if you see it happen, because all of her normals, like I said, like crouch short, 4 frames, 2-frame window.
She has only 4 frames and higher.
Yeah.
She only has 1 3-frame.
So you want to rely on this as a punish tool because it's a 3-frame window that you can rely on into EXDP, which is nice. So it's better than using like Stand Strong or anything like that. It goes a little bit further than Stand Strong, which is nice. So
it's faster. It's a good frame trap tool. It's she's mostly a frame trap character. She wants you to be afraid to hit buttons so she can finally grab you.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. I guess we'll get moving to special moves because we're taking care of like normals and stuff like that.
There's one more normal.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, you can go ahead and talk. This is him specifically. I hate this move. It's good for setups only, but go ahead. Like
What?
I think it's good for setups only.
It's good for setups. It's good for humiliating your opponents. So Ross, you know what move I'm talking about. So this is the reason why I asked for Black Gi Makoto. Black Gi Makoto is my girl, and it just so happens that I play at Super Arcade, which I believe has a Cobra on it, and I believe they're based off a certain karate team called Cobra Kai.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. So whenever I do this move, I only have one thing in mind: sweep the leg. And then the minute it happens, and if I hit you with it, I just gave you a body bag. Get him a body bag, son. You got body bagged. Oh, look at this body bag.
Give him a body bag.
Just have your friends yell that out. Your opponent will be humiliated, sad. They'll go in the back and ask Mr. Miyagi for help, and he'd be like, "No, you got body bagged. Just get out of here."
Sorry.
And you'll just have a moral dilemma, and you'll just quit Street Fighter.
Okay, jokes aside.
No, that's not a joke.
No, is this a lifestyle? It's not a lifestyle. Okay. This move is terrible. I'll go get into my side.
It's
It's -9 on block, I think.
It's so
Yeah.
punishable.
Yeah, and it's so slow. Like if your opponent's looking for like forward medium kick or this normal to come out, which is rare, but they basically will see it as a forward medium kick and punish it the same way. They're gonna hit you out of it most of the time beforehand, unless you've got them absolutely terrified. There's two versions of it, so this is the normal one. If you hold the button down though, she'll stop, so you can use it if you.
So that's the farthest reaching one. Her
Yeah.
farthest reaching normal, which really is not useful because no one's going to allow you to do this unless you're like full screen.
Yeah, so you'll see some things if you watch Hayate play, and we'll talk. We can talk about Hayate because he's the best of the best. But he'll do some tricks with it. So I like it as a tricky setup. So you can do like sweep. Well, actually, I'm doing that way too.
You gotta walk forward.
Oh, yeah.
Is it different in the corner? I don't know. I guess I think Makoto might be different for it, but it's basically it's a corpse hop. It's a corpse hop essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a corpse hop tool. So
She big.
Yeah, so you go through, and that's pretty much it. Maybe you could go do like an axe kick afterwards or something along those lines, but it's just useless. You can use it. Maybe you can throw it in your play like he does, which it's not a bad thing, but it's something you use rarely and it's very sparingly.
I caught Snake Eyes with it. That's all I need to say.
So yeah, so it's
You need to check that.
it's okay, but it's. I mean, you could do it
You need
if
to
you've
check
got them
that
scared. You can do something like this, or like you can go into a cancel into a Karakusa in the EX, something along those lines. If you think that they're not going to react to it in time, and you want to actually like do that, which is a decent tool because EX Karakusa has armor. But aside from that, it's one of the worst. Like she has so many great normals, and that normal is terrible. So you gotta.
Alright, we'll go on for the useful stuff now, the special moves.
Yeah, let's do Hayate first. 'Cause it's, yeah.
Alright, so Hayate Punch is it used to be her main combo tool. It's her main combo tool without meter. It technically combos from all buttons, but you have to choose the correct format. So this is light. It doesn't travel that far, but it goes from any normal besides,
You go down a ladder basically. Fierce when combos into fierce, strong's combo into strong or jab, and jab's combo into jab. So light normal. So go down the board. It's pretty much.
And they all do a different damage set and stun set. I'm gonna turn on stun. Actually.
Yeah. So
So this is light, 90, 120. This is medium, 100, 120, and then so
And
they
then
all have the
an
same
EX.
stun. Oh yeah, an EX, which causes hard knockdown.
yeah. So EX can combo from pretty much any normal except for jab, which because again it doesn't work that way. You can't. But she used to not be able to do that in Super, but she can now. The trick with Hayate is. You don't use it as much anymore as a Makoto player, like I said.
It's a non-meter.
It's a
usage.
non-meter ender because the light one on hit is 0, medium is +1, fierce is +2. So you do have some leeway afterwards.
But most people will try and reversal through, grab you. We use it as the main thing because we have to build meter, and it creates a distance. So like this is medium, so we're at this close.
Yeah, there's pushback. There's different pushbacks depending on which ones you do.
So medium.
Yeah.
As you see, you did medium, right?
Yeah, that was jab actually.
Jab.
Yeah.
So jab pushes you actually the farthest.
Yeah.
So if someone tries to dragon punch you, they'll actually miss. Heavy. puts you the closest.
Yeah, fierce is the closest of it. Yeah, look at the feet. So it's easier to tell if you look at her feet. So fierce, that's about that distance. Strong is about a little bit further out.
I would say.
Yeah, too. Well, and then you can just see the distance in the feet there.
But it's mainly a mix-up tool after. So say you're doing like a medium, throws will always whiff. So what we tend to do is
Car grab. And we'll get to that.
Heavy, because it has frame advantage, do pokes after, and jab is just we needed a quick punish. We can't really like hit you except for this after, but
Yeah, and there were it's in terms of pressure afterwards, it's kind of scary, but that's kind of the way Makoto needs to be played. Like, if you're even or +1 or +2, it's okay. She can do like a 4 jab, like after a fierce one, or on counter hit actually.
that's different.
Yeah. Well, but so that actually counter hits most of the time, unless
not counter hit the 3 frame.
Yeah, with a 3 frame, and then you can kind of like do like 4 jab dash, and you can go into like grabs or mix ups or stuff like that. If you're just trying to, because after like I said, after a person gets hit a couple times,
it's all conditioning.
Yeah, it's conditioning. They're either going to mash reversal or they're going to be like, oh crap, block. So it's going to be one or the other. Generally, not always, but that's mostly the case. So you kind of want to read and understand what they're trying to do and work from there. If they're trying to reversal, then you block afterwards, or maybe you backdash, something along those lines.
Right. I'm gonna talk a little secretness real quick. So I think it was Viryu or Hartani came up with something on Twitter, and this is old tech, but what you do is Makoto can charge Hayate. Generally, this is completely useless. There's no reason to do it except for like a chip bait, and like just hit me real quick. You get a free counter hit. Yeah. So it's generally useless. But the thing that they found out is, let's see here. This is medium punch and medium Hayate. That did 160. This is medium punch into charged level 2 jab Hayate. It did 165, more stun, and I think it might have like the same frame advantage.
Yeah, it's the same advantage, I believe.
So it has the same frame advantage. It's good. It's okay. You needed a little extra damage, but most of the time, if you're going with muscle memory and in the heat of the moment, you're not really going to think about charging a level 2 light Hayate. And it's generally only used as a confirm. So it's like, block real quick?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, well, Haitani, he's the master of this, and I've tried to do it. I've tried to put it down, and I can't do it yet. But he'll do crouch strong, he'll confirm, he'll charge it for a moment, and if he sees it hits, he'll let go and he'll actually go into a combo. So he'll like kind of, it's insane. And if he sees it misses, he'll go into a block. Into a Hayate cancel and then just block afterwards. So it can be tricky. And the way the charge works is if you charge it, there's numbers out there, but any charge immediately, like once you hold it for a brief moment, it's automatically goes to level 2. It'll charge up to 3, 4, and 5, which is just a little bit more stun, a little bit more damage. Once it gets to level 5, it has armor break properties. So you can use that, especially like there's setups after Ultra 1 where if you can actually, charge it up, and if they try to do like a focus attack on Wake Up or something along those lines, it'll beat them out. It's kind of a 50-50 after that.
But generally used as chip.
Yeah.
It's chip bait. So if we hit you with Ultra 1, you go, get hit in the taco, get sent flying, and let's say Makoto's at no life whatsoever.
Yeah, and
that would chip.
And the one thing, and we can't hear it, but you guys can. We actually have to hear it. But when she's reeling back and you hear her go hit, yeah, that's when she's hit level 5. So there's a little moment there that once we hear that, that's when we know we can let go of the level 5. She didn't have that before, and the charge times were a lot longer, so you couldn't do that before. So if you're actually going for the level 5 for like the armor break properties or something like that on Wake Up or something, listen for her to make the little yelp there, and that's when you go into it.
The other thing that we kind of didn't really get into is what.
How long does it take to charge level 5? To level 5?
I believe it's 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Something along those lines?
Yeah.
So,
I'll check right now, but say what you're going to say, because I don't know the exact numbers.
So, as you saw when we had the Hayate, we were canceling it. You can actually instant cancel that by hitting them both at the same time. So as you see, she doesn't do the Hayate at all, and she just instantly cancels. And it's one of my favorite things because I like Kara Hayate canceling, because it kind of makes you look like an asshole, and it kind of freaks people out because you can gain ground while doing it, and she looks really hilarious, so it kind of makes me giggle too. But a lot of people don't like it because it's like, why are you doing this to me? And then I hit them with an EX. So they're not thinking.
The full charge is 75 frames. It used to be 5 seconds, I think. That's why I got that confused. So I think it's a total of 75 frames, yeah.
But you can use it for certain things too. So like Makoto favorite things to do, which is the Kelvin special, is that, or the normal Makoto special, which is that. But people don't realize that we can use the Hayate cancel in other ways too. So we can carve the cancel into that. It's all mix-up in purposes, but
yeah.
It's just something interesting.
Movement tools. And this is the one thing, if you really want to play Makoto, this is the one advanced technique you should learn. Because it was Hayate canceling. So basically, whenever you're charging Hayate, like you said, anytime you press a kick button, it'll cancel it. But the way the game works is if you're, like you said, if you press them both at the same, like if you press them both at the same time, or you actually have to plink it when it comes to the light one, otherwise you're going to get a grab. But it cancels it as soon as it can. So I think there's like a 9 or 10 frame window where she goes like this, and then before she can actually cancel. So in general, you can just like press both buttons at the same time, and it'll automatically cancel. So that's her biggest damage in terms of like normal would be this stand fierce, Hayate cancel, and a strong one. A little too far out, but
It's odd.
yeah. Well, it's not in auto black. Yeah. So that's called.
Basic
Fierce
beam?
Faint Strong, yeah, Fierce Faint Strong. So it's FFS is what it's normally called. When you do stand Fierce and you Hayate cancel it, it's +2 on block and it's +5 on hit, and that allows her to do a strong or a jab, or you can do forward jab if you really want to go for an easy combo. Yeah, if you want the damage. So it's really important to do that because especially if you like say I knock you down, just block high. Okay? So if you do this, and you do the cancel here, you have enough time to confirm whether or not that Fierce is hit, if you've practiced it enough. Whether or not it's hit, so you can either go into that combo or like an EXDP afterwards, or you have +2, you have frame advantage, you can do that into a forward jab and like maybe a forward strong, like find the space where your normals are good. So you have enough time to see that, so you really want to learn how to do a Hayate cancel. I don't know if you're different than I do, but the way I do Fierce Faint Strong is I'll plink, so
I think I do it your way.
Okay, you think you do it.
Because you taught me it.
Oh, okay. So for those of you watching, so it's easier to see, let me make sure the buttons are right. I said, okay, so yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to press Fierce, which is this button right here. Then you're going to do quarter circle forward and Fierce and medium kick at the same time. So Fierce and medium kick, which is automatically gives you the cancel. You can do Fierce and heavy kick if you want, but it's easier for your fingers to do the diagonal motion as opposed to the top-down motion. But if you want to do it that way, you're more than welcome to. Then after that, you do strong, stand strong, which is a plank into medium Hayate afterwards. So the motion for, it's basically, it's hard to hear, but you're basically going to want to, it's really quick. So you do Fierce, quarter circle forward, and then press the Fierce and the medium kick at the same time. And if you do it right, it's really not a timing thing. You just kind of do it. So the second, yeah. Well, no, I mean, actually getting the cancel is really easy. If once you get the motion down, it's not a timing thing. Literally, you hit Fierce, you do quarter circle forward like you're gonna do a Hayate, and all you do is you press medium punch and medium kick at the same time, and she's just gonna cancel into it. As long as you have to hold it down for a brief moment in order for the actual cancel to come out, because like I said, 10 or 11 frames where she can't do it, but it's an easy confirm from that point. It's a little, you can practice your own methods to do it, but basically, yeah, stand Fierce, Hayate cancel, stand strong into Hayate is the main combo. That's her biggest bread and butter, like after a Karakusa or something along those lines. Now would be like that, would be a better combo, because you EXDP into Fierce mix-ups. Yeah, but we'll get to that later because we're going through the specials.
Want to do command grab or X hit?
No, do Orochi.
Alright, overhead. So, this move.
Makoto has no overheads, by the way, except for this one.
This is your only overhead. Yeah. And it's practically useless except for meaty tools. So, like,
regular X6 aren't EX yet.
So
it's so trash.
So, yeah, this is her only overhead. It's, like, this is the best version that you'll be doing off, like, because this will just throw.
Okay. Oh, throw? Okay.
Yeah, just throw.
Oh, nope. Try again. No, why can't I throw? Wait, am I not pressing the right buttons? Do it again. Oh, there it is. I was pressing focus stack, I think. I think that's what I was doing. I wasn't on the center of my buttons, but yeah. You gotta do one more time. So
So,
Wow. I'm getting hit by it. We try it one more time.
ugh.
I don't.
Christian, I'm trying to
Okay,
show
yeah,
that this
yeah,
move
yeah.
is awful.
Yeah, it is. It's bad. It's bad.
It works when you block.
It's more of a surprise tool, so you can do stuff like stand fierce on block into Oroshi. It's not a true block swing, but it's like a 3-frame gap. It's a little harder for that. I mean, for it to get through, but you can still do it. The EX one combos from strongs and fierces.
It doesn't combo from jab or shorts.
No, those don't combo. But if you do a strong, it combos. So you can do like strong. Like, see, we do into that or certain characters. Is Makoto one of my things? Oh no, she's not.
No, she can't.
Yeah.
She's not.
Yeah.
She's big, but she's not that big.
Yeah. And then, or you can do it from fierce if you want to. So if you want the hard knockdown setup, which isn't as good as it used to be, you can do like this into that, and then you can get the combo afterwards and safe jump.
So the main reason why you would do this overhead is meaty pressure, because it is an amazing meaty normal. So, yep, super. Yep, sure. We'll have that. Don't mind me. So,
Just don't worry about it.
damn it.
It's on infinite, I think, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, bam.
Yeah, so you do it like that, it's gonna be it's normally like +3. I think it's +3 +4, right? And then the heavy one knocks down. So heavy knocks down, EX knocks down, and the light and medium are +3 and +4 on hit, I believe. So you can combo into forward jab or like a crouch short, but the window is really bad. But if you do it the way that he showed it here, and I don't block it, it's like you can do stand strong. So
You can do ultra.
yeah, you can do ultra if you do it properly. So there's a lot of tricky setups.
Too early. But yeah.
My
No,
favorite
too
is this. That one. Well, actually, no, I'm supposed to do stand jab afterwards.
But yeah, it's
That's
generally only for meaties. You'll see Makoto's do it randomly. That is an input error.
yeah.
We never mean to do this move out of nowhere unless we're building meter.
Yeah, unless it's like a full screen meter build thing, because this is our biggest meter build.
Because I believe someone
Aside from doing that, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't want to do that.
I believe someone last stream saw me anti-air with overhead. That was an accident.
Yeah, that's like a
that
down,
never
that's like a down
should-
back buffer that you accidentally got, like that.
Yes.
If it works, it's never an accident.
It's when Zangief does jumping fierce and you overhead beat it.
Let's do that.
That's some scary shit.
So
Yeah, you
just,
have to do that.
just so we can get over it real quick, since we're going to go to option selects and safe jumps, but since we can get Oroshi out of the way really quick, her normal go-to safe jump after an EX Oroshi is dash. Well, I think the EX is dash forward, jab, and neutral jump medium kick. That's a 4-frame safe jump. It doesn't work against delayed wake up, but if you want a safe jump after that, which some people do, it's actually really good for this. And I found out most people don't delayed wake up this, but if you do something like this in the corner, most people do not delayed wake up that because it's a really tight window and she's not used to having hard knockdowns in the corner off of that. It's just a new thing. So you can go into the dash jab into neutral jump medium kick.
We should probably state jump real quick.
Yep.
That EX now combos
Yeah.
from it has now one juggle property, so it acts kind of very similar to this, which we'll get into in a second. But if you get hit and we're able to combo you, it can now combo.
It's harder off the ground.
It's harder off
Yeah.
that. I've fucked with the timing. It's actually really difficult.
Yeah, it
but
is.
it actually it combos now.
It's whether or not you want, if you want the jump fierce mix up, you can do that. Or if you want a little bit more damage, a little more stun, you're going to do an EX axe kick instead. But aside
is
from
all-
yeah, but aside from that, yeah, this is the hard knockdown you're looking for if you want it in the corner. I like it because, like I said, most people don't delayed wake up it, so I can kind of do my setups afterwards. But I think
What?
that's
Someone wants to know what characters does Orochi FADC forward dash?
Guile, I think it was Guile, Abel,
Sagat,
Sagat.
Vega. It depends. Well, it's not Orochi. I think Vega is standing roundhouse.
Oh, okay.
But for that, and I don't know if there's something that's been
There's a V-Ryu thing on it.
yeah, it's not Makoto. These characters, if you watch all the people with the dash through, it's the character. So I think all the characters. Are
All the
universal.
characters that got buff dashes
Yes.
can do that. So
Correct. But who they can do it against. It's all characters with wonky hitboxes, but it's not Makoto can only do it to Guile, Sagat, Vega, whoever. Anybody who can do it to Guile, Sagat, Vega, and whoever. It's a universal thing, and because they changed their dash somehow, so there's a list of characters.
They buffed her dash from Super to it's an AE or 8 edition. I'll get into a quick fun fact about her dash, so don't do anything.
Yep.
So as you see, her dash does this. if I switch it to super, her dash would actually push the person out of the way.
Yeah.
So people always wonder the Team Seaslug special, that is the dash up, command grab into ultra, was trained in super where my dash would push you away so you can't get dash command grab. And I'm a product of super, so I had to get good at that. And I am good at that.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the main things. A quick side note to go off on.
Yeah. So and it's a gimmicky tool, but like I said, it's really hard to get this to hit on a lot of people because it's really easy to see. It's her only overhead, so she's going to be we're mostly going to be blocking low against Makoto. And once you just like if you see like this and you see like the flash, most people will just block high if they're a confident player. So it's kind of hard to hit.
Yeah, it's more of a hey, I've done this in the low, or I've done this in the overhead, or I've done this in the command grab so many times. It's oh nope, I got you now. Yeah. You want to do axe kick, command grab?
Do axe kick. We'll command grab.
All right, fun times. Makoto's dive kick, as people so love to say, because you know Makoto has a dive kick. Everybody, no, it's called an axe kick. Get your shit straight. So there's 3 different versions, which give it 3 different arcs. So it's the light, doesn't travel that far and keeps her up a little higher. Medium travels downward more, bigger arc, and then heavy has the biggest arc. The difference between them all is light and medium combo, whereas heavy is a hard knockdown.
Same with DX. EX is a knockdown, and you have to block EX high.
Yeah, but EX is an actual overhead.
Yeah, but you rarely use it like that. It's usually a combo ender. If you get the EX on accident, it's a mistaken plank or something like that, and you accidentally get the EX. That's pretty much what it is.
We're gonna go over. I'm gonna go over practical and non-practical uses, and just certain things you need to know about axe kicks. So, as you see, when we stay in place, it has a different effect than if we're jumping forward. So as you see, when if you're just neutral jumping, the move will come out like really low. Too.
Yeah, if you look at the heavy axe kick, you can tell by the white that comes off of her foot there, the white swoosh. Like it comes really low to the ground, especially when you can do heavy one. You can do it pretty much like that far off the ground.
Okay, so here's the forward ones. Now, as you see, the problem is when you're jumping forward, you guys see that there's the swoosh. But if you do it too close, you won't see the swoosh, or her foot won't come up all the way.
Yeah, her foot's coming out. It's coming out, but it doesn't get into active frames, and she recovers when she hits the ground instantly.
Yeah. So the thing is about that is a lot of Makotos in Super, we just couldn't jump forward and axe kick, which if you look at it nowadays, you would think Makoto couldn't jump forward and axe kick before? Wow, she must.
Yeah, the properties were really bad on it in Super.
So what we found out is you're actually supposed to plank it with any punch button, and usually we just plank it with the punch button that goes directly with it, or directly the side of it. So light goes with medium punch, medium goes with heavy, and then heavy. I like doing it with all punch, so a lot of people who say, oh, only scrubs use the all punch button. Well, you know what? I'm getting my cars a lot easier than you are.
Yeah, and the reason why this happens is like we said before, so the neutral axe kick, what it happens is when you do it, she stops basically, her downward momentum pretty much slows down to nothing, and then she does the axe kick and it takes her down. When you're jumping forward, it has a different property so that it doesn't change momentum. So she basically is going to go forward at the same momentum and not lose any of it. So that's why you can do it really high and still hit the ground, but it doesn't, you come at really predictable angles, basically.
You come at really big anti-air angles,
Yes.
so like just do like a nice step.
Well, that was
pretty good.
Yeah. So, but what happens is when you do the jump forward plank from the fierce, when you hit the fierce and you cancel that, you're basically canceling it into the axe kick. The game, when you do the fierce, resets you to a neutral position and thinks that you're going neutral jumping, and therefore it's giving you that slow down, like up in the air property that is normally given to you.
At this angle, I can't axe kick, but at the same angle, if I do the plank.
See, you notice how she stays up a little higher? That's
stays.
the idea. Yeah.
And what this is used for is actually help to get in against certain characters. So Guile's amazing anti-air buttons, just really annoying, just the annoyingest things. And then you do that, and then you get in, and then you make Guile's life a nightmare.
It beats Sakura's crouch fierce if done properly, because if you do it at the right timing with the crouch fierce, if you do it at the normal timing, it'll hit him. But when you do the crouch fierce and Makoto delays in the air, the fierce will come out, she'll start to come into recovery, and you'll hit her hand as she's coming back.
Alright, so bad things about the focus attack, which I don't know why people don't do this to me more often. I mean, Wednesday Night Fights does it to me, but everybody else doesn't. Is do the Wednesday Night Fight special against Makoto for axe kicks. So I'll do my little special. And that's how you beat an axe kick.
Oh, nope, you didn't even do that.
Oh, nope. Problem with axe kick, you do it too fast, you will get a command grab. And you charge to level 2, you get a full crumple.
Yeah, so it's really it's an awkward timing, but you can get it if you have to do the charge before the axe kick is starting to come out. You have to kind of anticipate it, but if you charge the focus and you see the axe kick come out,
it's a guaranteed
guaranteed if you do it at the right time.
The other thing is light and medium, while comboable, are now negative on block.
Negative, well, more negative.
More
punishable.
negative.
-3.
Yeah, they are now DP punishable at close distance. So this.
Yeah, but if you do it at the tip, the DP
right
is
there,
kind of, yeah, you know,
like right about there, you can't really get punished by DP.
Yeah, like my forward jab can't hit it, and if you do a DP, it'll actually
will block in time.
Yeah, it'll hit in the 4th or 5th frame. So that's what happens. So,
and then you do heavy, which was unchanged. So
-2.
It is.
And this is the lowest distance, so you really need to practice, and we should talk about Tiger Knee. But you need to practice doing it as low as you possibly can.
Oh, God.
So, okay, so I got 2 things really quick.
Yeah.
First one is some dude named Chump Charity wants to know if he can join Team Seaslug.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Second one is Brett wants to know how bad does Makoto beat Rufus?
You want to know how bad Makoto beats Rufus?
We'll talk about the Rufus matchups. We'll talk about bad matchups.
Yeah. We'll talk about bad matchups. We'll talk about matchups that make me want to go to the end of Super Arcade and just...
So you know how Makoto beats Rufus? In a nutshell, you unplug your controller and you go home. That's pretty much how it works.
We don't do the game.
You can't lose a game you don't play.
It's what happens when the best Makoto player also happens to play one of her like awfulest matchups.
No, Makoto wins the fight by not fighting.
Yeah, by not fighting.
Makoto wins the fight by knocking out the opponent before they have time to plug in their controller.
Okay, so
I don't know what happened, buddy. He was unconscious when I got there.
I think Brent may have been drinking too much.
So Makoto's axe kick can be done at a really low range, and the motion for that is up forward, and then immediately going a half circle back motion, or like a 540 motion, whatever, to down to back. So you're basically rolling the stick. Show them really slowly how the roll goes.
Oh no, you do that because I just do it as fast as possible.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
This Canadian viewer of ours has just called you out.
Oh,
We're telling people.
So we'll do this. So if you look at the screen up there, the motion is going to be up forward. Oh God, I did that wrong. So up forward, down to back like that. So. That's what the motion is.
It's technically as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's as fast as you pretty much can. I can't. I have problems. One of my biggest weaknesses is doing consistent axe kicks all the time. That's just one of the things.
So what it is when you're doing the axe kick, she actually has to leave the ground.
Yeah.
If she does not leave the ground and you're doing it
boom
all the way fast as possible, instead of getting the most amazing move that we could possibly do to counter you, we get this.
That's the most embarrassing thing as a Makoto player is like, oh, I'm right here, full screen Karakusa. Didn't even do that. That's okay.
Or the worst thing to do is point blank Karakusa, and then in that turn we chuck our controller across the screen because we just got punished.
Pretty much. So,
how do you feel about the Canadian viewer free TMG trying to recruit for Team Guitar?
We'll get into that in a second. That's a personal life issue that he has with himself.
So when it comes to combos, axe kicks can juggle after an EXDP. You can do an axe kick afterwards. It also works after a crumple. So if you do that into regular DP, you can do a heavy axe kick for the hard knockdown. Well, actually, it's soft knockdown. It's a soft knockdown.
It's a soft knockdown, or you can do one of my favorites.
I love that.
And we'll get into that little fun thing after that.
Yeah, but it's designed, there's 2 ways you can go about it. So you can either do like this into DP, well I mean it doesn't work at that range, but you could do that, or you can go into DP into axe kick. Just do it, you can do like,
you gotta call it.
So you do that into axe kick into EX Hayate, which is a corner carry. So if you're trying to get him into the corner, that's the best way to do it, the most efficient. Or we'll get to that later. So that's axe kicks in a nutshell. You really want to space them out properly, so you want to be able to confirm on block that it's like if you block 2 jabs, then you can do an axe kick afterwards, and it's relatively safe from about that distance.
Yeah, not many people can do anything about it.
Yeah, so it's a pressure tool still. It's not as good as it used to be, but the fact that you can do like an axe kick into an insane amount of damage now with the EXDP is pretty nuts.
So the other thing that we're going to mention is the EX axe kick. So realistically, it's just for combos.
Yeah,
That's the only thing you're going to get it off of.
Yeah, so if you saw that, that was 632 stun, and that was after stand fierce. You can do an axe kick stand fierce combo. That's 704 stun. This is Makoto. Like, her job is to stun you in 2 combos, and she can do it even easier now. Yeah, it's really that's what she does. So that's why the axe kick needs to get nerfed. A lot of Makoto players complain about it. I think it's okay because it is pretty insane that you can do that now.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much it with the axe kick
the only other thing that you want to use EX axe kick for, which is really funny because this happened to me last night. I was fighting an 8-on player. We were at chip damage, both of us. And I neutral jumped in the air. Guess what 8-on did?
DP.
He did Ultra 1. For some odd reason, he had Ultra Combo Double. Now, that was going to hit me, and I would have lost. And I did the saving grace. That is the EX.
Yeah.
It keeps you up there the longest. It's kind of like reuse
EX Tatsu. Yeah, it doesn't recover instantly on the ground, but you're right. It is a way to change momentum. And you can do that too. So, like, against characters that have... like anti-air normals or ways to beat your neutral jump, you can neutral jump and then do a late axe kick to change. Well, I didn't mean to do that, but like to change trajectory. Well, it doesn't work against Makoto because it's so vertical.
I thought this would at least work.
But this works too because you can do that like as you get close to the ground, and if like if they expect you to land on the ground and then they're gonna poke you, that'll actually beat
do stuff like
yeah.
this.
So if I'm neutral jumping here and he wants to do a low forward and punish me, he's gonna hit me out of that. But if I do this. It's most of the time it's going to hit or it's going to be safe on block, and then you can do a normal punish afterwards. So you have to be kind of conscious. Some really good players will just wait and see you do the axe kick and punish you afterwards because it's got the same minus. It's 16 frames after she hits the ground is when she recovers.
Oh, by the way, because axe kick does juggle, it catches backdash. So if you backdash, just trying to time it right. I'll just knock you down. Too high.
Do in the corner. Corner works. No, she's not very airborne, but yeah.
It catches backdash, and what it does is when you catch backdash, you can't really get much off of it, but you will get an EX.
You can get EX DP, yeah. I mean EX
Hayate,
yeah.
You can get lucky and try and do DP. But.
Yeah, it's not always worth doing said trick.
Someone wants to see axe kick into Ultra 1.
Oh yeah, that's the last thing.
The bread and butter that is.
Well, I'm blocking back. Yeah, and that's it's an easy confirm. It's something that you have to look for at first, but yeah, it's a really, really easy confirm.
We're just gonna call it the taco trick.
You can against certain characters it doesn't work. Like Gen and Chun,
Crouching Gen, Crouching Chun,
and Balrog sometimes.
And Crouching Balrog.
Yeah,
those are crouching characters.
Okay, I don't know if it's a troll question or not.
Oh god.
But how do I beat Makoto and Dalton?
You don't.
The second part
no, honestly.
The second part is actually how do I beat anyone as Dalton?
You don't. We'll talk about how to beat Makoto later.
The same way we beat Rufus, you unplug the controller and leave life.
Dhalsim Makoto is Makoto's best.
It is
by far
7-3 with Ultra 1, 8-2 with Ultra 2.
It's really bad. So and that's preference. Mostly people use W, I think. But I think that covers for the axe kicks. And for combos, if you do axe kicks, you can do a sweep. You can pretty much do anything you want.
Any button.
Yeah. If they're standing, you can do like stand fierce. You can do roundhouse. It's got a lot of frame
any button you can do.
You pretty much can.
As long as it reaches.
You can do stuff like this into super, into ultra, and stuff cancels. You can do another fierce. I didn't time it right, but axe kick. That's why it's such an easy confirm. You have to kind of practice, put the character on random block and just practice seeing what it is and seeing if it hits or not, and then confirming from that point forward.
Alright, so we have command grab and uppercut.
Let's do command grab because uppercut's the new thing, so that's easier to talk about.
So, welcome to the schoolyard choke. She goes over, give me your lunch money. So what that is this is our mix-up. It's either we make you just block. We either make you block into frame traps, or we make you block into your doom.
Yeah. Karakusa is a command grab, half circle back kicks. It has no grab invincibility, so
no strike invincibility.
No, nothing. EX has 1 hit of armor, and that's it.
And there's a thing. See, there's a beautiful thing when people try to complain about certain things. Armor is not complainable. Invincible is, because you can work past armor.
True.
You there's so many things you can do to beat armor, but against this, because if you do a button and we do our armor move, you're getting grabbed unless you're someone stupid like Balrog who can cancel his shit into stupid shit.
Yeah. So the way they work, the light has the shortest distance, but it's the quickest. Medium kick has medium distance, it's a little bit slower. Heavy kick has the most distance, but it's the slowest. I believe it's 1 frame apiece, so it's like 79. Yeah, it's really close, but those frames add up because Karakusa, while it is her best way of doing damage, because it's so easy to confirm, you're +9 afterwards. So
you can do anything.
You can pretty much do anything.
Except for Axe Kick.
Yeah, except for Axe Kick. But you can, normals into EXDP, you can do Ultra. You can't do Ultra 2, that can't be comboed into. You can do Sweep, Stand Roundhouse, Crouching Medium Kick. You don't want to do those things, but it's possible to be done. So what the whole trick, and one things I teach Makoto players, and I've talked to a few Makoto players that Super have been trying to play recently, don't rely on Karakusa. It is the move that's supposed to be used maybe once a game, maybe
it's
2 to 3 times a match.
It's used sparingly. If
Yes.
you these are let's do on max. Didn't combo, but whatever. That's technically a max damage combo for a command grab, and it did really good damage. Now that they've just lost a third of their life, they're now watching out for command grabs.
Yes. Because a command grab after that is basically going to be stun. So you're trying, the whole thing with Makoto, and we'll go back to the beginning.
You want them to forget about the command grab as much as possible.
Exactly. You need to figure out what they want to do as soon as possible. And then you need to scare them from everything else to the point where command grab is now a viable option because they want to block. They don't want to, if you hit them with this and they go into the axe kick and they tech, they're like, crap, I don't need a tech now. I don't want to press a button. So you can go in now and do a crouch jab into a Karakusa if you want to.
As you see, that got...
Yeah, that got grabbed.
That got grabbed.
Yeah, watch. I'll do a Karakusa on wake up, and he grabs, and it'll win. Yeah, as I'm coming out,
and
you can just grab it.
Knock me down again, and I'll do one of the favorites.
Yeah, it's not a... I mean, you can get out of it, but you have to really... you have to not be afraid of it. That's the thing. Some players just become afraid of the Karakusa, and then they'll lose the match instantly because they're worried about. Yeah, you can't be scared of it. It's like Fei Long's command grab in that you know that they have it, but Fei's trying to get you to the point where they can trick you into using it. Of course, we get more damage and stun out of it. It's part of our arsenal. It's one of the biggest parts.
It's her biggest part of the arsenal next to this now.
Yeah. So, but it's not something you need to rely into. I mean, yeah, you can. And I'm not bagging on you, but you can do dash forward Karakusa or dash forward Karakusa. I mean, that's the TSS. That's his thing, and it works. More than what I do. I can't. But that's the thing.
Me and Hayate.
You can condition it. I mean, well, we fundamentally play differently if you watch us both play, but. He can get it to work more often than I can because his style of fear is the only best way to put it is different than mine, and the dash forward becomes that scarier option when you're playing against him as opposed to like an axe kick pressure with me or frame trap normals and stuff like that. It's just a different way of looking at it.
If you watch any Makoto matchup and you cover up the name and you just know all the Makoto players, you'll instantly tell which Makoto player is playing at this current moment.
It's true. I could put all of us. I mean, you, Hayate, Kelvin. I can put Shiro, all of them together and stuff.
Shiro,
and you could tell. There's certain subtle and there's certain things that open up between the players, and they find different ways in order to get to the Karakusa or to other things.
And command grab's the biggest way to tell because certain people do it a certain way, certain people don't do it.
Yeah, I love getting them in the corner and doing it. That's one of my things because it's kind of in the corner you have so many options, yet the Karakusa is kind of like the last one. Because you can backdash it, you can neutral jump it, you can DP, you can mash. I mean, you can beat it in so many ways. It's got a lot of recovery too. So if you see that she's done a command grab, if you backdash a command grab, just backdash, yeah. And you can literally do anything. She got extra frames recovery. I think you can jump forward. Okay, so on
Balrog can backdash, jumping roundhouse it.
Yeah, so when I'll knock you down, backdash, and then jump forward and try to punish me. So. Yeah, that was a punish. I'm holding back. That was a complete punich. So
I could have done more damage.
Yeah, you could have done a lot more than that. So you have to be careful with it. It's a tool that when you hit it, it feels like you're
You are the best player in the world.
You're rolling, but you can't rely on it. It has to be something that you set up. You have to understand that your opponent's scared, and you know what? Sometimes they may be scared, but they're so scared that now they're going to jump back. Then your Karakusa whiffs, and you have to just reset from there. It's not even against the even low level players who are terrified,
They will DP the shit out of you.
it will, yeah, and it will still not work because just of the nature of Makoto and how it's just not invincible. It's not, it doesn't beat grabs. There are so many ways to beat it. Oh, and that's one thing to point out. Since we've gone through all the special moves, none of her special moves are grab invincible at all. That's her biggest weakness on defense. Is that like I can't do this grabbed. Like if I do an EX. Well, that didn't come out. If I do an EX, I did come out. It's grabbed. If I do a Hayate, she can grab. You can grab it all.
Okay, so
there's no option except for axe kick, which technically is airborne, but that makes sense in the game engine. So
there's two fun facts about this. So this that is a confirm. Problem is one of the big things about Makoto is she can't chip. She can't chip people safely or easily. So if we do things like that, which as you see is a combo, on block, it's not a true block stream.
True.
People can throw us out of it, people can super, people can ultra. She has really odd quirks in certain things, such as defense and chip and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we didn't talk about. I'll go over it real quick. EX Hayate on block, -4. If you do it at max distance, like certain characters like Sagat can't punish it unless it's like a crouch jab fireball, something along those lines. The regular Hayates, I believe, and you can see in the frame data app, are 8, 9, and 10 or something like that.
Yeah, they're awful.
They're at least -8, so they're very easy to punish. I think Makoto can ultra after a light one, I believe, on reversal. This is me holding back, ultra punish. So you have to be careful. Like one of the things they were talking about is that people wanted Hayate to be safe on block.
They wanted third strike Makoto.
They wanted to be safer on block, and the Combo Queen was like, hell no, that would be too much.
They wanted third strike Makoto.
We'll get into the matchups here soon, Chump Charity. I like that you're talking about them. We'll talk about like hard matchups and things against Shotos. But just to go over, I think the Oroshis are generally unsafe. I think
they're unsafe.
I think the heavy one is
-2.
Yeah, it's like -1 to -5 depending.
You can DP punish.
Yeah, EX I believe is -5. Like they're in that range. They're not terrible, but you can punish them. And like we said before, axe kicks -2 at best, and the light and the medium are -3. So every special move Makoto does that on block is unsafe. So you
all
can,
the time, every time.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things people don't know about the matchup. You have to do. We have to play on reads, and we sometimes have to go crazy. If you're playing Makoto, sometimes you just got to go for it. Sometimes you got to do low into EX. You just got to go for it, and sometimes it works. Sometimes you block. And you get punished. But the way Makoto works is that, yeah, maybe you punish me the DP because I did that twice. We take 2 DPs for 200 something damage, but we hit you once with an axe kick, and you take 350, and you're in a mix-up, and you're at 600 stun. That's the trade-off. That's the disadvantage to the advantage that Makoto has. You have to use her life as currency. She's a semi-grappler, but you have to be...
She's a mixed grappler.
Yeah.
Much like Abel is, or Hakan is.
So you have to use your life and your mix-ups as priority. That's the idea.
The one last thing about command grab is Karas. So you can carve from just regular standing light. So as we stated before, which is the block Sakuga, you get that, or you do it the much harder and stupid way, which is so canceling from this fun move right here. I'm gonna see if I can get it. I'll do it off Hayate. Come on.
Yeah, so
there we go. Got it.
Yeah, the Blockakusa, or if you do stand light kick, you can basically cancel that, like you said, into Karakusa, and she moves forward. The Karakusa, the one you saw him doing there, is a really weird motion. I'm gonna put it into chat right now. Actually, is this chat connected?
Yeah, it's
does. Okay. So here's the motion for it. 2-6, light kick, 4, heavy kick. So that is the motion for it. So you do forward, down to forward, you press light kick, then you immediately go back and press heavy kick. That gives you, the game will consider that a half circle back motion, and it will give you the forward light kick. It'll cancel the startup frames on that, and then it'll go into the command grab. So I just got a text. I want to make sure that's not Tim trying to figure out where the address is. I just don't know if it's him or not. But yeah, so that's the trick of that. I would really use the stand light kick into the Blockakusa, is what we call it. It's easier, and you still get the same mileage out of it, especially with these blocking. And if you really want to learn to use the Karakusa with forward light kick, go for it. However,
it's really only good for like that off the heavy.
Exactly, it's good at that distance, and it's scarier because it comes out
Later.
Yeah, so it comes out like in like 16 frames as opposed to like 7 because you're getting the startup of the forward light kick. So you have to absolutely know that they're going to block or they're not going to do anything. When you see the highlight videos of Hayate and V-Ryu, they're great players. But when you see the highlight videos of them, that's like the 1 out of maybe 5 times that that it actually works. The other 4 times they're jumping back, they're mashing, or they're neutral jumping. You know what I mean? Like, so it happens, but it doesn't happen as often as you think. So you really need to know. And if you hit it, you've blown their mind, and that's where the mind fuck comes in. I don't know if it's PG-13 or not. And we go in there.
Say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Oh, jeez, Ross.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how that works.
Should we get to the practically the best anti-air special in the game?
Yes. Okay, so DP. So she has 3 versions of the DP.
There goes
Light stays in place, medium moves forward a little bit, heavy moves forward the longest distance, EX goes forward even more, and it's a lot quicker.
Infinite!
Yeah, it's an infinite.
No, it's not.
So, Makoto, it comes out, it's not a very fast DP, it comes out in like 7 frames, so it can be safe jumped really easily.
It's really easy.
You cannot rely on it as a reversal unless you know that they're safe. You can kind of, when you play Makoto, you can kind of get a feeling of, oh, that safe jump's bad. Oh, they're too high above me. So generally, if somebody's like, jump at me from where you're at, straight up. So at that range, when someone's jumping at me, I can tell that they're going above my head, and that's generally where Makoto wants to get her DP from, is right here, at that range. If you jump from about right there, yeah. So if I try to go from there, no, not gonna work. If I do a medium, yes. But you have to really, like, you have to know the range.
Commit because the move, she has more startup frames because she has to move forward.
Correct.
So instead of like a Shoto, which actually attacks and move forward at the same time, Makoto has to get in place.
Yes. So, and you have to do it early. It's not something that you can wait and wait and wait and then do. Like,
you jump real quick?
Yeah.
So I can't, if you don't do
was
attack.
fine.
But if I try and like do, oh god,
yeah,
damn, I'm good.
No, no.
I should DP more often.
Well, like, let's a safe jump setup. So I'll just do normal safe jump and DP. Yeah, that's a counter hit. It comes out. There's no way you can actually. EX doesn't even work. I mean, EX is quicker, but it's not going to work. Try to hit it.
So, EX.
No, it's going to hit her out of it. It doesn't work.
So this is the thing about her DP. Oh, damn it. Super, come on. So as you see, if you do the pervy thing and stare at a chest real quick, that and up cannot be hit.
Yeah.
At all.
It's literally all a red box. Like, you have to hit her waist down in order for it to work.
So, meaty dive kicks, it's the reason why the Rufus matchup sucks. It's because he can point blank hit us right there.
In the foot, yeah.
And we can't DP.
Correct. It doesn't, and it usually doesn't come out fast enough. It's actually pretty quick. So, a lot of safe jump setups, or not necessarily like perfect safe jump setups, but ones that are far enough so that they hit waist down, will trade or outright beat it. So
jump at me real quick. This is the reason why you. Oh, god damn! You want to anti-air with it because when you do, you'll get massive damage.
Yeah,
off
and
of it.
corner carry and all that good stuff. I prefer now just jump at me to do an actual jump cancel because you can get the jump fierce mix-ups now. So it just depends. Like, I think you still do DP.
Yeah,
yes.
I like the damage.
I prefer the mix-up style. So it's like, so you can do stuff like jump forward. So jump fierce and then to the high low. Like, I'm totally for the EX or the DP mix-ups now. So my natural thing is to hold up forward, and that's one thing. So if I do DP, you can hold up forward. It's not like a jump cancel. It's literally just hold it and it comes out.
It's a hit cancel.
Yeah, it's a hit cancel. So the second it hits, not on block, but once it hits,
you can't block in the air.
Yeah,
But
EX is in the ground
we're
now.
talking about
Yeah. But once it actually hits, she'll jump forward automatically. So I just basically do the DP, hold up forward, and then go to the confirm from there. EX. Oh yeah.
The other reason why normal DP is good is because Makoto stays in place. She doesn't move forward like Shotos or anything like that. So cross-ups. This will beat cross-ups unless they're done really meaty. So the normal Ken cross-up Katsu does not work on Makoto unless he does it meaty and hits her from like the back of the knee or something.
Yeah. The only other, the one exception to the rule now, and this is the biggest buff that Makoto got in this game, I don't think anybody would disagree with that, is EXDP now hits grounded opponents. It's not that the other ones have don't hit grounded opponent property. It's just the fact that the hitbox is so up and in that it actually doesn't collide.
Touch.
Yeah, it doesn't actually collide with anybody on the ground. It only collides with people in the air. But the EX one has moved down so that the hitbox has moved down and forward so that it actually collides with grounded opponents. there's no like it doesn't hit property. It's just the way they move the hitbox changed.
Yeah. So our go-to combo before was kind of like full hit into that, but as you see, that did 400. So now our go-to combo is actually don't do super. God, I don't want to. As you see, that did more stun. I think a little less damage.
A little less damage, but 500 stun in one combo is pretty nuts because if you
and that's off one command grab, one fierce, and one bar.
Correct. So if like the way and this is something that I do. If you do this, and then you go. And
That's
do
a
that,
guaranteed stun.
well, actually,
Two combo stun.
That's a 950.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a 950 setup.
jabs.
Yeah, so if you do it right, you can get it set up to 950 so that after the EXDP and the Fierce, I have a left-right mix-up. I have technically a high-low mix-up, which is kind of hard to set up because you get inputs reversed, or I have a grab mix-up. If I hit any of those things, low-short, grab, stand jab, Karakusa, anything, automatic one-hit stun, that leads into a 400 damage combo afterwards if done properly. So that's where the cusp of her game now is EXTP, jump fierce mix-ups into shenanigans and all that good stuff. Because if you set it up properly, you can make it so that the third combo, well, you basically do the combo, get one guess, and then you get one guess after that, and you're basically taking 80% of your opponent's life bar for 2 meter. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So that's what that's all about now. There's different ways to set it up. I don't know if we want to go into exactly all the setups.
We'll do one. So we'll do the main one.
Yeah.
We'll do that in a second because we still have to do ultras, and then we'll do like 2 setups. Like
Yeah, we will go
maybe one neutral, one corner, and then we'll go to matchups.
One thing I'll say, if you're still watching and you're still interested in playing Makoto, go to the Makoto forums on SRK. Probably one of the best character forums out there.
It's the best
Yeah,
character forum.
they've basically come from being a terrible character in Super and doing as much work as they possibly can to, wow, we're a good character now, but there's so much dedicated players on there that they've just keep bringing new things out, and they're very active in talking about stuff, and there's so much information. There's a lot of setups on different characters and all this stuff. We can't nearly go into all the stuff that Makoto can do.
That would be a 4-hour tutorial.
It would be so long, but you can find that stuff and you can research it, and all that stuff. So we'll get into a little bit of it, like he said, but let's just talk about, we'll just do it in the ultras. So
yeah, we'll do ultras. So everyone knows this ultra one. If you're on my stream or see me play, you know this is the taco punch. To women, of course. To men, they don't have a taco.
Yeah.
They have a taco after, but the nut punch.
Yeah.
And then Christian knows my second favorite ultra.
Abaricho Sanami!
So this is Ultra 2. It's primarily now only used to defeat fireballs, but before you would have had a secondary Seaslug special where, you know, I just saw you do a crouching forward and now I'm just going to Ultra 2 your face off.
So, yeah, Ultra 1, more damaging. It's comboable from a lot of meaties and from Karakusa. It's 6 frame startup. It's 1 plus 6, so technically 7, but it is invincible through the hit. So any normal that comes out, like unless it's an EXDP after the fact, anything that's brought out is gonna get hit. So it's very good. It also has, and this is I guess my special, do a neutral jump.
Yeah, it has anti-air properties.
Yeah, it has anti-air properties, so it will hit. So if somebody's put me in the corner and they do a neutral jump,
They do the Balrog special neutral jump fierce.
yeah. So what I like to do, like, just knock me down and do the jump fierce. But what I like to do is like, no, just do it a little later. Like do it as a fake. So like right as I get up, do the jump. No, right as I get up. Like you're trying to like bait out like an EX Karakusa or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to tell me to like.
No, like, totally. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it to me.
So you like this,
I'll see what you're talking about.
like that.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
So someone's trying to bait out like a reversal, like they walk forward into it. What I'll do is I'll do like a crouching short and like this, and then I'll do an ultra one afterwards. So you basically can do crouch short as a tech, and if you see it comes out, you can do the ultra motion afterwards, and it does beat neutral jumps. So there's different timings. If Dudley does like a jump roundhouse, you kind of have to do it a little later, but for the most part, it does hit in the air. It does have a 0 juggle property state or whatever. So you can combo. I don't think you can do it against Makoto, but like you can do it after like. I don't know if you can do it against her, can you? No, but you can combo after a focus attack.
It does certain weird
Yeah,
stuff.
against certain characters, but for the most part, it's just used as damage. It's the highest damage, and it combos from Karakusa, so it does strike fear when you have that into, you know, it's a fear tool. So that's for Karakusa.
I'll go into my second favorite Ultra, which is Ultra 2. So Ultra 2 got a nerf. really significant nerf too, so like knock me down real quick and then just do immediate. As you see, I just did Ultra 2 and I got completely hit out of it.
Yeah, and you see the Abari, it says at the bottom, Abari to Sanami, and it doesn't come out.
So what happens is Makoto is now hit invulnerable to it. Before she was fully invincible.
No, you mean grab. She's grab and fireball invulnerable. She's not hit. You said she was.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
She's not hit invulnerable.
Sorry. You can hit her out of it. You can't grab her, you can't throw a projectile. But before, she used to be fully invincible from startup all the way to when she hit the wall.
Hit the wall, and then she can be hit afterwards. So she's not invincible on the way down, but on the way up, she can do whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah, and the problem with that is it was an escape option.
Yeah, that's the big deal.
That was the primary use of Ultra 2, was to escape what we have in a great... See, even though we're a great rushdown character, we have the bane of every defensive character where we suck in the corner.
No real big defensive options for Makoto. That's one of her biggest weaknesses. So, yeah.
And Ultra 2 is our main thing to do this. Oh,
Yeah.
well, there's that, which you can punish, which there was some stupid shit to punish. But we primarily used it to go full screen and just escape.
Yeah, that was the idea. So you can't really do that anymore. Fireball invulnerable. Now, before, she would go up to the wall, say if Goken throws an up fireball, and she would actually land into the fireball. It was designed to be an anti-fireball ultra, but they kind of messed up on that.
Yeah, when you leave the wall, you're vulnerable to every attack, and she's technically still vulnerable to every attack. Like, if we go off the wall, Ultra 1, when I get off the wall.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
It's really
it's a weird
fast.
timing. I've never tried that before because you can bait it.
Trying to punish Makoto Ultra 2.
Oh, well, that works. There, go do it again. Do it.
Punishing Ultra 2 is more effective for Shoryu characters because they can just easily just DP on reaction to it. But the problem that comes from that, which is the special Valle tactic that I did.
This is one of my favorite things to do with
So say we're full screen and Ryu likes to throw fireballs, or Ryu's trying to be safe and he does fireball FADC. Well, you do the magical ultra and you cancel it early, and you
go to aversion. So the way Abari to Sanami works,
this is light.
On the way to the wall, you have to make a decision. You either press light kick, medium kick, or heavy kick, and decide which distance you're going. Light kick goes right there, medium kick goes the medium distance, the medium kick one there, and the heavy kick will go full screen.
Now, we have to warn them about the dead zone.
Yeah, there's a weird
Twilight
place,
Zone.
so let's see if I can set it up for you. It's probably right here. So if I go like this, and I try to do, try it again.
Maybe a little bit right there.
And I try to do medium kick, no, it's not going to hit. If I try to do heavy kick here, it goes right over her head. So there is a space in between
where it will never hit no matter what you do.
Yes, and you need to be able to recognize that sometimes.
Because that could make or break a match.
Absolutely. So it's like when I get a stun on like someone in the corner, I'll actually do this. I'll back up to full screen and do Ultra 2 afterwards. Just because it's so programmed that there might be a dead zone there, or that like in the corner, like right here, I just make sure it's full screen so it hits the whole time, just to get out of that, because it's a nightmare when it doesn't. And there's points where like you'll actually do it and you're like, is that the dead zone? I can't tell. Is this gonna hit? And it's terrifying if it doesn't.
To yourself.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my goodness, is this actually gonna hit? This should be the biggest punish of my life in the biggest matchup, and I screwed it up because of the dead zone. So it happens.
So the other thing is, the reason why Ultra 2 is really good is you get follow-ups. So her biggest follow-up, which I believe I'm in the corner right now, so I think I can do normally, is that. And we're an Ultra Combo Double, so it's not nearly doing as much damage, but that did 479 in Ultra Combo Double.
Yeah, and it's the same properties as
normal DP.
So just hold up forward,
cancel.
And the second that you can, she's going to jump. So you just have to hold up forward. You don't have to do a super jump or anything like that. Just hold up forward and she's going to go.
The other thing is on whiff, she recovers almost instantly.
Correct.
And on block is what people finally need to learn. Oh, sorry. She goes through the whole move.
Yeah, so on block, so on whiff, instant recover. On block, she cannot do anything. On hit, on airborne hit, which is something that's kind of weird. It doesn't always work. Actually,
I think you can do it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, exactly. So Makoto doesn't get fully comboed here. You can dash cancel afterwards on animation on the last hit. So you can dash cancel after the fact, only if it hits in the first one, the rest whiff. So you're not completely unsafe. Some people actually try to punish it when they see that happen, and you just don't backdash.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, you backdash and you're like, okay, why'd you do that? So you have to be aware of that too. I guess let's try this one thing. So So there's another weird property. It does less damage, but it also has a juggle property in the corner. I mean, a juggle property non-animation. So we'll do it like that. 1, 2, 3.
You can get all the same follow-ups. It's a little harder to do, but you saw when the first time we did it, he got all the hits, but when I do it off that, I don't get all the hits. It's a weird airborne property that sometimes you'll get all the hits, or sometimes you'll have read that Chun-Li backdash so well, and then you did Ultra 2 to punish, and it missed royally.
One thing, and this is not a big deal, but I'll show you guys it anyway. Same idea. So we do this. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to do the full animation. But, yeah, I know, I didn't wait long enough. So, the light kick version and the medium kick version have I mean, the heavy kick version has a property the light kick and the medium kick don't have on non-animation. So let's try to get this. Oh, God.
Yeah, body bag.
Yeah. So just do the light kick version into that, and then do the double DP afterwards. So do DP.
I forgot.
Yeah.
So when you're actually not in the corner and you dash forward, you have to reverse your DP option. I'm not used to it.
It's okay, yeah, just do the DP.
Oh, that's not gonna work. I did. Oh, I did. Ah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and it's hard. It's really hard to show because it's a little bit of an advanced tactic to do, and it's not something that him and me ever do because
don't like it.
It's just not worth doing. So see how that whiffed. Now that was at the right distance for it to hit, but it didn't. However, if you do the full screen, if you do the heavy kick version, so let's do this. Okay, that was weird. Let's try that one more time. Fine. Okay. Anyway, so if
you get double DPs.
Yeah, you get 2 DPs afterwards. It's a weird property. We don't know why why they made that decision, but you can do DP, EX axe kick, as opposed to when you do it from the medium light kick version, you can only do 1 DP and 1 axe kick. Something to keep in mind if you want a little extra damage.
The other thing about Ultra 2, which is why we always yell at people when this happens, please crouch for me.
Oh, yeah.
So if you see this, for the love of God, whatever you do, if you're crouching, stay crouching. If you're standing, just stand. Do not switch between the two, because if you do, there is a... What is the percent chance?
It's like 15%, but it's a glorious 15%.
The minimalist chance that you will get hit with the worst cross-up, overhead, unblockable in the game.
Yeah, there are certain setups you can do for it, but the Ultra 2 will hit you on the other side sometimes. It's really strange. And a lot of times, like you said, changing from crouching to standing or vice versa triggers that for some reason.
I will pull out my Black Magic book and show you one little fun thing. Jay had a DJ unblockable that didn't work out, but this will. Alright, so you want to go to...
Crit chances.
Wait, can you do it against her?
No,
Can you do the EXDP one?
I don't think I can. I'm in my notes.
Yeah, so we're...
I don't think it works on Makoto.
Yeah, we'll show you one little thing with this, and then we'll get into stuff. Let's see.
I don't think it works on Makoto.
Skills called like coup de grace, which gives her like a large crit chance.
What do you do while he's looking that up? What do you do with Makoto if you're in the corner and you don't have Ultra 2? You need to learn how to play defense.
Oh yeah,
you really do.
Ultra 2 was only... I only used Ultra 2 as a way to punish people. So if Bison did scissor kick, I usually used Ultra 2 in that match because I wanted to punish everything he did on Wake Up, or everything that he would want to do on Wake Up, like Psycho Crusher or EX or stuff like that. And I would use Ultra 2 to punish the second scissor kick, or if... what's another good one? If Vega does wall dives, you would do Ultra 2. But it's just all defense now. If you're good in every aspect of Makoto and not good on defense, you will lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Because she doesn't have any really good option. If you think they're gonna press the normal, you can go for an EX command grab. They neutral jump, you're done. Like especially with EX Orochi, like if I knock her down, like just do every aside from DP, like do an EX command grab. Just do it. Neutral jump. Oh, big punish. Oh, do EX Orochi. Same thing. I can hit you from that. My normal didn't come out. But they're really... You have to learn how to tech properly. You need to be able to see overheads and lows. And you need to know, like...
And realistically, everybody could just be a dick and do this.
Yeah.
Which will beat every option you have, except for the very famous Kino and Seaslug tactic that is... just like knock me down real quick and then go for a throw. Ah, goddammit, axe kick. This is your only way to beat throws.
Wake up
And
back
it's very good too, because if someone goes to throw you, you turn the entire momentum and pressure around.
Yes, so the main mix-up people are going to apply on you when you're a Makoto player in the corner is, am I going to grab you or am I going to hit you? And you really have to have defense at that point. You have to block for it, or you just have to go for it.
So, like, if someone's going to go for hits, and you know they're going to do, like, meaties or stuff like that, you want to do this. If someone's going to go for a thing that you know will beat your command grab, which is the Rose funness, you would do this.
Yeah, exactly. That will win.
Fun fact about this, though, this is not invulnerable. It has, like, 2-3 frames.
It's invulnerable for 11 frames, and it comes out in 12 or 13. So it's like invulnerable just before active. So you can still get hit out of it. But what a lot of characters like to do, like Faye used to like to do, is do exhaustion. So if they go for like short, like low short, like. Oh, that was. I did that at a weird time because I shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, but what happens is most players go crouching short, right? Well, the EX Orochi comes out. The first crouching short comes. It goes. They don't collide with each other. It's invincible. It comes back. However, since they're going for a second crouching short, they're in a low blocking animation. Overhead hits. You're out of the corner. That's basically how you see that. So that works in some situations. It's just reads. You really need to know when they're going to do it, and what they're going to do.
And as you see, I just ran out of invincibility. Got counter hit.
Yeah.
It's the bait.
Yeah. So yeah, you really have to work on it. There's certain things too, like, and I've done this against certain players. If I sense hesitation on their wake up or they're waiting for me to do something, I'll just dash forward and grab you, or dash forward Karakusa, if I really think that they're going to be hesitant about that. So you can do that there too. I don't think there's anything else but Ultra Shoe we need to really worry about.
No, we already said Ultra Shoe.
So other things. So forward grab, 200 stun.
Easiest Kara in the game.
Yeah. Yep. So you do forward. And then you plink, light kick, and light punch, and you get a car grab. And it's one of the best in the game now. It's probably right behind. It's right behind Vegas and Ken's now.
Ken's is the best.
Yeah, but with the distance it goes, it actually goes. I mean, she doesn't go as far, but her forward grab range is actually further than most characters in the game. So it got buffed in that aspect.
So like, what is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So that's a common tactic after that is you can go for command grab.
And it's 200 stun.
That's a lot of stun. You can do it after a stand light kick, but it's just not.
It's not as practical.
No.
You would rather go for that.
Yeah, it's better to go for the forward light kick.
Because it's just easier. The hardest one to do is car back throw. So
I can do that actually. I do that all the time.
Well, yeah, but for other people.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You have to like hold forward and then like as fast as possible do the input and back at the same
weird.
time.
So you can just do back and then plink, and you get the stand light kick Kara. So it's a little bit extra range, but it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit better to do that. Like you can do it easier with just doing the stand light kick version because it's no input involved and you're holding back too. But if you're trying to do the forward one, which gives you the biggest range, it's like really hard.
It's really hard. It's almost better to do.
It's like never realistically you want to ever do that.
For throws, if you think you're going to stun the opponent, forward throw is a great idea.
If you want to hard knockdown,
you go for back throw, correct, yeah. But if you've got him in the corner and you're doing like this isn't a bad option because this is a really good spot for Makoto to be. Because I can throw out a crouch strong, and if you press any button, I'm pretty much going to hit you out of it. You can do a forward strong, which is like another counter hit button. You can do a forward light kick, which is your right back here. So a forward grab in the corner isn't necessarily a bad option.
So what people also need to realize about forward throw, she's +1.
Yeah.
After this, she can't really get much. Like she can, as possible, try and get a sweep. Yeah. And the funny thing about that is, so I'm not gonna try and do it right away. If you do that, she actually won't reach at all. Her throw hits her out of. Don't do anything. So her throw, none of her moves will ever reach unless you hit a button.
And it's counter hit bait. It's basically what it is. You're trying.
It's to bait you to do something.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do anything,
yeah,
we do that.
That's the idea. So those are how our grabs are used. You have a safe jump setup after back throw, which is basically back throw, dash forward, and immediately neutral jump, medium kick. That's it. You have to get the timing down because it's kind of awkward doing the dash and then immediately holding up. But once you figure it out, it's really easy. It's a 4-frame safe jump. That doesn't work against delayed wake up. There's a couple different setups, but my personal favorite against delayed wake up is back throw, back dash, forward jump is actually a 4-frame safe jump if done properly against delayed wake up. So do delayed wake up for me. That's also a 4-frame safe jump. There's other ones because you can just do the numbers, but those are 2 options there if you guys are trying to do safe jumps and they're expecting delayed wake up.
You want to do the 2 mix-ups, the one mid-screen, 1 corner, and then we'll go to character matchups?
Yeah, okay.
All right, so do you want to do...
I'll do the corner one because that's actually my favorite.
All right,
so
do you want to do the... do you want me to do the crouching light one? EXDP crouching
Yeah,
light?
I do that. That's okay.
Okay, so this is something I came up with in training mode, and it's kind of known, but not really known as much. So when you do funness like this, and you hit as low as possible into a crouching light, fun things tend to happen. So what happens is, it's a meaty, as it kind of missed right there, but you have to time it a little bit. I don't really want to use it against Makoto as much, because there's no reason to do it to Makoto. But if it's someone like Ryu or something like that, it beats reversals. So what happens is, I'm gonna switch to Ryu real quick because I have the Ryu timing down. So what happens is when they're getting hit airborne and they're getting resetted, they're flipping, and as Makoto dashes under and then does the crouching light for a meaty, they're quickly going both sides.
Yeah, they're
so
switching between.
Yeah, so the game is trying to register inputs, but it's seeing you're on 2 different sides, and it's just registering 2 different kind of inputs. So what's happening is, hopefully I won't mess this up. Just when I want to teach someone nice.
Yeah, that was me mashing DP. I did not get emotion. It didn't come out.
So that's what I now use to beat DPs, and I have caught so many people who are like, I want to try and DP. Come on, damn it.
It's tricky, but when you get it, it's
No,
Turn
you're mashing forward.
yeah, just down forward, down forward, down forward.
All right. But yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to try and do it.
That beats it. So I'm just mashing it out. So yeah, it's tricky. But if you do a quarter circle forward, and then the button, you get the DP motion. We don't know why it happens, but
if you try and do EX, you get an EX Hadoken, so it counts as a free counter hit.
Yeah.
The other thing is when I don't do anything, just like don't even block. If you do that, it should.
It's a hard timing, but it's a meaty into.
It's a meaty, so you can automatically get any kind of combo you want. You can even do standing fierce.
Nah, it's a hard timing, but it becomes a meaty low short. Yep, there it is. Yep, I did
Yep.
one.
So that just comboed, and it stops the DPs from happening. It beats jumps. It beats backdashes. And the other thing is, it sets up for this because people are DPing, like they're trying to match the DP so much, and then they see that it doesn't come out, so
And
they don't
they
register
stop.
it in
Yep.
time,
Yep.
and they get command grabbed into a whole nother thing. The other thing is instead of resetting them as low as possible, you reset them as high as possible.
Just as they're coming down.
Yeah, just as they're... So here's how I judge it. When you look at Ryu and you do it, if you want to do a mix-up high, it's just as he starts to fall. So
Yeah.
he reaches max height, just as he starts to fall, goes. Fake crossover. Just as he starts to fall, high, out, fake crossover.
Okay.
It works with medium punch, but that's what you try to do when you're up high. When it's low, it's all just kind of preference. You can even switch it up with medium punch. This is one of my favorite switches because this one keeps you same side, whereas the medium punch, you can switch it, and you can either be the opposite side or as low as possible same side. And they both mess up DPs.
Yeah, and the most reliable mix-up you should do in mid-screen is the one where it's just when they fall. And the reason why this works is you do the EXDP, you go up into the air, and you dash underneath. Makoto is on one side. And this is literally all it is. If you are standing, when they land, you stay on that side. If you are crouching, when they land, you appear on the same side as you were before. You will swap sides. So it's literally only if you stand or crouch. That's the 2 things. You can confirm from both of them. You can do crouching, jab, stand strong, into combo.
And all of them are meaty.
Yeah, it's literally whatever you want. It's just a matter of whether or not you're standing or crouching. So it's really hard to see. So if they're not mashing out, you're getting it
how
for
much
free.
I owe you. But
And all that.
Oh, you want me to put it
So
there? So you can get
that's
to
at
the
least
biscuit,
mid-screen.
right?
I'll show you
Yeah,
the
that's
one. I'll show you the one in the corner.
I want to go over
Okay.
just a
Yeah,
quick thing
yeah.
real quick. So you
unless
guys
that's
saw
more. Unless I'm more.
you guys saw I was doing heavy punch into it, and you can't always get heavy punch. That's like combo. So most of the time you're going to be doing medium punch. Here's the thing about medium punch though. So if you do heavy, look, me and Ryu are in the same height range. If you do medium punch though, Ryu is slightly higher than you. So what happens is all of your mix-ups change now because Ryu is too high for certain things. So I found that out I think half a week ago. So I came up with all new mix-ups for medium punch, which one of my favorites is early, cross-up medium.
Yeah, that's fun.
And if you do it later, stand. So that's just the big thing about it. Now, Christian's favorite.
Yeah, there's the corner is the only exception where this rule is kind of weird. And you can do a couple things after EXDP. So you can do what Trevor showed you earlier is this. Actually, into the jump fierce. Into the media Oroshi, which actually shouldn't have whipped like there, but it goes like that. Into this, and that's a combo. I went to the EX, I didn't do the meter right. So you can do something along those lines. So you can stay on the same side with a fierce, and then you can go into a mix-up afterwards, or you can do what I like to do, is a jump into the corner afterwards. So you can basically do a late jump fierce after the EXDP, jump forward medium kick, and you cross up on the other side. It's character dependent on whether or not you can get it to stay on the same side. So if you do it at certain ranges, you can do a jump fierce and sometimes stay in front. It's been tested, but it hasn't been perfected yet, I don't think. About getting it consistent on every character to do the jump fierce, cross up medium kick mix up. I don't think it's consistent on everybody yet.
Which one are you doing?
This one. This into that, into either a cross up medium kick or a.
It depends on how high you do it.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird range.
So you can do it the short way, which is what he did, or you do it the really high way,
Yeah.
which does cross up as well. And by the way, that trades with Fierce Shoryu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that'll break the Shuri option. What I do sometimes in the corner, and this is taking advantage of human nature. You know when Viper does a burn kick in your face, after a mix-up, or when she's coming down, and most people like to stand grab? That is just almost everybody does that unless you train yourself not to. It's just what they do. So with Makoto, what I like to do in the corner is I like to work on whether or not somebody, when somebody blocks, I guess the best way for me to say it, they generally will either mash out. So if they think I'm going to do something, they're going to mash it out. Most of the time, people do not block, then mash, for the most part. So what I like to do is I like to do EXTP, jump fierce, cross up medium kick, and on block, because usually most people block that. It's really easy to see.
It's a predictable.
It's predictable mix-up, but it's designed to be that way. And then I'll immediately do a command grab afterwards, and I'll go into another EXTP mix-up. Or you can do the same idea with the jumping medium kick, and you can do an axe kick afterwards. You're basically resetting the situation.
Grabber hit mix-up.
Yeah, it's a grabber hit mix-up. Or if they're close to stun, you could do just a regular grab. That's my personal favorite mix-up in the corner, is something along those lines. Why am I not getting EX? Yeah, and then if you can actually confirm the hit if you want on the jumping medium kick, and then just go right back into a combo if you want. So something along those lines, and it's easy to get stun out of Makoto because of that. So those are basic EXDP mix-ups. You can find your own if you really want to.
I have a list.
Yeah, he has stuff, but he comes up with new things all the time. I'm not really in the lab as much as he is, but we talk about things we can do and why they work and all that stuff. And there's a lot to figure out with her still. I think V-Ryu found the plink from the axe kick maybe about a year,
about a year ago.
And that changed everything, because now she could come at different angles. So there's a lot to learn, and because EXTP is so new, there are things that you can do that a lot of other, I guess the best way to put it is a lot of characters got a couple new cool things, or they got a couple changes, but they're pretty much the same character. Because of EXTP, Makoto plays completely different.
She's more of a mid-range instead of a corner.
She's a mix-up character as opposed to being... she's a better mix-up character, but it's more...
She was better corner heavy in the other versions, whereas this one she has a neutral mix-up that is very strong.
Yeah, so, but there's just, the EXDP is just a completely different move, so you can do a lot of crazy new things with it. So it's a lot of fun, and try things. Figure out what you like to do, and when you do EXDP mix-ups, it depends on, I like to do crouch jab, stand jab, just as an easy confirm, if I really want to. I guess, what's another really fun trick? Oh, you can do this. Let me see if I can get it right.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Makoto teleporter.
So this right there is a really weird thing. You guys see what happened right there? So I did the crouching roundhouse. I went underneath him. It's kind of like the Yang thing that just came out recently. And then she appears on the other side. It beats throws. If you try to throw, Makoto's like, nope, I'm nowhere. They try to grab, and you can easily punish with a stand strong. Or
if they DP.
And if they DP, goes right underneath, and Makoto appears, and she's like, oh, I guess I'm here now. Here's the punish.
V-Ryu did a video on that.
Yeah. So it's a weird little glitchy kind of thing that happens, and then you can confirm afterwards. Another one in the corner when you've got pressure against her. And this is just random stuff coming off the top of my head I'm trying to think of, just so you guys can get an idea, and it's recorded. When you knock somebody down with Makoto, her standing light kick has this really weird property. So when you knock somebody down and they get up, and you stand light kick, you actually push yourself backwards. So if I dash up into you, and I do this, you see how I kind of move there? Watch if I dash and I go right into your range. I'm still here, right? But if I do this, I'm right here. If Ryu tries to grab at this range, whoops, well, let me try that one more time. So well, try to grab. Look, nothing. So I can see the grab and confirm into a combo afterwards. So it's something that Hayate does a lot. He'll do the light kick, he'll dash forward, do the light kick, and then you'll see that and instantly punish you afterwards. So that's a little trick. I don't know why it happens, but because technically she's not hitting you, and I guess it's colliding with the box coming up. Something along
It's the
those
same
lines.
thing as quarters.
Yeah, it's a core top quality, but that's something to think about when you're in the corner too. My suggestion, if you get somebody in the corner with Makoto, be patient, see what they're doing. You have a lot of options to prevent them from getting out. You have crouching medium kick, you have a DP, you have pressure, you have the crouching, you can crouch strong, and eventually you can buffer that into EXDP once you get close enough. So there's a lot of things you can do. She excels in the corner. She's terrible in the corner herself when she's there. But when she's got someone in the corner,
she's good in everything in front of her. She's the best at beating anybody at. Anything behind her, she's gonna get wrecked.
Yeah. And she's the character, and Ultra David said this really well, and I respect him for what he said. Makoto is the kind of character where if there's always a range Makoto loses at, in every matchup, there's always a range she loses. And it's very easy for characters to dictate that range. Ryu can dictate that range. He wants to be right about here. Do a low forward. He wants to be right there at all times. This is where he wants to be. If I walk forward, I get hit by it. If I try to like counter poke and do this, he can like if I do right outside of range, he can do like a low forward. Yeah, low forward and stuff like that. So what you kind of want to do at this range, do like a low forward every once in a while. It's that. So you kind of have to play a counter footsie game, but the problem is Makoto, she doesn't have the walk speed. She cannot play the same kind of footsies that every other character in this game does.
For people who need to understand about footsies is all about walk speed. It's not about buttons. It's about your walk speed.
Well, for Makoto, it's about buttons too. Well, yeah.
That's
establishing footsies. Buttons are a part of it, but you have to have a good walk speed to establish that. Really,
the reason why Akuma, Vega, Chun-Li, and all that are really good with footsies is because their walk speed. They can dictate where they want to be. So Ryu wants to be in this distance right here. So like, go backwards a little bit. Yeah. So what can Ryu do? He can just walk into that distance. He's not going to dash into that distance because dashing.
There's no reason to. So
yeah, so you just walk. Makoto, as I stated before, when it comes to walking, you're trying to get slightly into distance, slightly afraid. So like walk a little bit forward. Ryu's gonna try and do a little
forward.
So
I walk into this range, he does a little forward, and I do like a forward stride afterwards. That's how she gets her damage, little by little. That's 90 damage right there, and she gets pressure.
As one of my favorites.
Switching controllers on the fly.
Yeah, so let's do. So this is the starting matchup. This is how Ryu and Makoto always start off with. Usually when I fight somebody, which it's usually Vae or one of the other Ryu players, I just start walking forward. So what happens, what most people do is, we're too far away for any pokes. So Ryu's going to do his longest reaching poke, which is Fireball. So what I tend to do is I'll walk forward.
That's a punish.
And that is an automatic punish, and for God knows how much damage I want to do.
Yes.
And I've established pressure, so now whenever, this kind of happens with Vae when I actually played a long set with him, do a fireball and then just like hold back or jump back. So he will literally jump back now at certain times against me because he's expecting me to do dash forward command grab, which I was very glad when I finally learned he started to do that because I did dash forward Kara Africa. Yeah, and it was beautiful. Yeah. I was like, yeah,
tasty.
I read you, Vae. I read your read on my read.
But that's the strength of Makoto's dash. Like, I don't suggest using her dash as a just dash tool. But if you see a Shoto throw out a fireball at this range, you can focus dash forward and you can do something. Like, I mean, even at, like, okay, there's ranges where it's unsafe. So, like, if I do it from full screen, like, just do it quick. I could hit you, like, well, right about there, yeah. I can hit you there. But right here, if he throws out a fireball, like a super was pretty much the only option. There's like very few things you can do afterwards aside from a DP, and that's actually a guess because he wasn't blocking when I did that. He actually tried to press a button afterwards, so he could block. So you need to know the distance at which it's okay to dash. It's actually go to full screen. I think if you're full screening against a character, maybe about right here. Yeah, see that dash forward rate, like that dash forward right there. See that just outside of low forward. That's a good dash. Because it gets you right where you want to be, and you can play the game afterwards. But dashing from here is sometimes pretty scary. Because I just do that. You caught me off guard. But like, but like that's so easy. Like me throwing out stuff. Like this is so hard to deal with. Like you just do that.
Normal person, right?
So as you see, I'm like kind of jiggling around right here. It's because what I'm doing is while he's hitting a bunch of buttons, so like hit like jab and all that, I'm jiggling to try and slightly get myself closer, but also block at the same time. And if he throws out that crucial fireball,
Oh yeah,
so when he throws out that crucial fireball, I'm able to do it. Because what I'm doing is I'm anticipating that he's wanting to hit buttons, so I'm trying to get into that range where he'll want to hit a button, or he'll want to throw a fireball to try and counter hit my button. Because reuse buttons are good, but if Makoto has hers out, no one will beat her button.
Yeah.
Unless it's designed to beat it. So this gets beat by low, so do sweep.
Yeah.
Or low forward like that. And this is just easily, this can just be whiff punish.
It can be whiff punish. So that's why this is where I always talk about Makoto isn't the most technical character in the game. She is very technical, but she's not. I can't.
She's not Viper.
She's not Viper. She's not like a Fuerte doing fierce run stop, like whatever those stuff. That's nuts.
She's not as execution heavy. She's the middle of all characters.
Yeah.
You have to know the proper spacing of a zoner. You have to know the proper rushdown of a rushdown character. You have to know the proper defense. You have to know the proper control. She's embodied every character except for zoners because she doesn't have fireball.
Her technicality comes from knowing what distance your opponent's at and knowing you have to play to their footsies. It kind of sucks. You can use normals at certain ranges, but Ryu can dictate this entire match with low forward. Well, I mean, I'm not a Ryu player, obviously, but he can dictate this entire match with the space he wants to be at against Makoto, and he has the option to do it. So you need to know what he wants to do, what he's been doing, and counterpoke it, like I showed you before.
Yeah.
The low short into EX DP is so good because if you stay just outside of low forward range and you do that, well, yeah. But if I'm throwing it out every once in a while, you can counterpoke it really well, stuff like that.
That's kind of my favorite. I don't really like doing. I like doing this against certain things, but I'm more of a crouching, especially since I fight Vaya a lot.
Yeah,
I really like trying to whiff punish with this and attacking more of mediums than I do like.
That's the difference between us there, because what we do is like I want the quick normal that I can recover fast enough and I can whiff punish by. He gets more damage out of what he's doing, and it beats other things than just low forward coming out at him. So that's like you can play Makoto completely differently. It's the same option, it's the same character, but I would approach Ryu completely differently than he would. Stuff like that. So like you just have to respect the space, and it's okay. Yeah, see, you can use axe heat over fireballs. You have to understand the ranges, and you just kind of have to play to what they're doing. There's certain matchups where that's a little different.
It's all matchups that she loses to. So Bison and other stupid stuff like that. Characters control her footsies until this happens.
Yes, now
she controls them.
Yeah.
So it's all what she wants to do.
Because
unless it's characters with bad footsies, then she controls them all the time.
Yeah, because it's scary. Like, yeah, for Ryu players playing against me and he hits me with the DP when I'm putting pressure, I don't care. If you hit me with DP, like, that's fine. Maybe you can start dictating the match again, but I'll take that, what is it? How much damage? Is DP now? That's like 120 or something like that. That's fine.
My target combo did more damage.
Yeah, the target combo doesn't work. The forward fierce does more damage. If I get hit by 2 of those and I can get in just once, like if there's one time where you knock me down and then block, like. Oh well, you block. I mean, you can't really punish that.
Yeah,
but if I do a DP, like you know how much damage this is? That's insane. One mistake by you means Makoto has started the match, and you can do stuff like that. It's a cross up, by the way. So we won't get into that because those are difficult to take care of.
Yeah,
but
all timing.
You have to understand that Makoto is going to not be in good situations a lot of the time, and when she is in the good situation, you have to capitalize on it and be okay with it not working out. That's just kind of how it works. And when that happens, like once you get the in, that's when she goes crazy. And sometimes you need to know when to stop with the crazy. It's just reads. She's a very heavy, high risk, high reward read-based character. So if you like that kind of stuff, that's great. She's not super technical when it comes to pressing buttons and doing like combos. She does have the one frames from like her strongs and her jabs.
Most combos are going to be not even 4-hit combos.
Yeah, they're massive damage, low hit combos. Basically.
You're barely doing 4 hits. Your easiest will be 2 hits. Your hardest will be 3, and the hard one would probably only be like this, medium punch and a medium punch.
So yeah, that's basically like you have to just learn her movement normals, learn what spaces she can do stuff at, what kind of mix-ups, what kind of mix-ups work against certain types of players. Playing online is great for Makoto because, like I said, not too dependent on, she has some one-frame links, but she's not too dependent on doing crazy combos to do her damage. And you can do your EXDP mix-ups and a little bit of lag, and you learn player styles, and you learn how to counter those player styles. It's a game of chess with her. Street Fighter is chess, but she excels at the chess match, and she's rewarded for it. So it's a really big idea. It's a big idea to learn, to grasp for the character, but once you put in the time and the work for it, it's really rewarding to be able to walk into a matchup that, especially one that's unfavorable, and be able to outthink them or understand what they're doing and beat them at every moment they try to do it at you. That's footsies in general, but it's really rewarding with Makoto because she has a disadvantage in that she has to know what Ryu's doing. She has to follow his rules until she gets the knockdown. When other characters like Vega they both can play this walk forward, walk back game, and then Vega can, walk in and then do like a, the
jab,
the kick
jab,
over, yeah.
jab, medium
She
kick,
can't do that.
jab.
She's gonna get hit out of it. So
I was fighting a Vega player that only did stand short to me in the corner. He was just stand short, stand short, stand short.
It's hard to
stand
do
short.
it. And I'm not saying Makoto was like, we're at such a disadvantage. We play such a hard character. It's not a complaint. It's fun. It's a really fun thing to learn. And there are bad matchups for Makoto, but I want to tell you this right now: if you want to play this character, you have no reason to complain about the character because you know what you're getting into.
She wins all of her bad matchups.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into when you play her, and once you actually try to work with her, you know that it's just gonna be. You're
gonna fight Rufus. You're gonna fight Bison.
Yoon.
You're gonna fight
Cammy. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Akuma, Evil Ryu.
It's satisfying when you beat him though, but you just can't complain. Like I've lost the complaint. I lose to Rufus, and I just go, well, that sucks.
If Brent's still in the chat, I lost to him about a month straight at Wednesday Night Fights. I got him every single week. Lost to him every time.
It's frustrating, but you just kind of go, yeah, it's a bad matchup, but it's really satisfying when you can to win it. So,
although I did take him the last round, not too long. Hey. But I'm gonna show you guys one little dark secret, and then if you guys have any matchup things you want to know, we'll go into matchup. We went pretty detailed in the Ryu because the Ryu's just so good to show footsies to. But I'll do one little thing, and then we'll take requests for matchups.
Before he starts, if you guys have any questions, bring him in. We'll read them off when he's done with it. So just ask anything, and we'll get to them as soon as possible.
All right. So we talked about the magic that is DP. So there's even more magic that is involved with that, which is one of my favorites that I found out by accident. Block normal. I'm gonna do the fun ultra too.
Okay.
So. Gosh, 2. All right. So it's actually mid-screen. So you can't do this anywhere else but mid-screen. Nope. Come on.
You didn't dash.
I know. I don't do it that often because
I'm gonna block backwards.
Oh,
I'm gonna block the correct directions to start. So I'm gonna block the way that you think you should block. I'm blocking backwards.
that is a cross-up.
That's a cross-up. It hit me. I'm holding back on the stick right now. That hit me. That was a cross-up.
That is a cross-up ultra 2.
Do the same thing. Do the same thing.
Actually, let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
I kind of want to be more mid-screen.
I'm gonna hold forward now.
Misses.
I walk underneath it. Yeah, but it makes no sense. It does not look like it's gonna cross up, but it does cross up.
And I will tell you the magical things that this crosses up on. Just because I like you guys, I'll show you one of my dark secrets. This crosses up on Ryu, Ken, Dudley, Goken, Dan, Sakura, Elena, Juri, Chun-Li, Dulcim, Bison, Cammy, Guy, Hakan, Evil Ryu, Forte, Balrog, Adon. I won't even use Ultra 2 for some of those matchups.
It just does. Just in case you really need it, like it's there.
Just in case you feel like being a dick.
And that is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of crazy stuff Makoto has against certain characters. Like I said, Shoryuken forums, Makoto forums, there are tons of setups on there, most of which are really relevant. So
that's just a fun fact.
yeah, absolutely.
So we can do a. Actually, I might. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it real quick, and then we'll just go to matchup knowledge.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break. We'll get to the questions we have there in a moment. I know some of them aren't Makoto related, but we'll talk about them anyway because we know stuff about the game. So
I'm gonna cut it so the cat cam's gonna go away for a second.
Cat cam.